This is our final move. You are the Allies' last hope. The Nazis won't go down without a fight. You have one mission. Drink all of Hitler's blood. Give 'em hell!
What has happened? Oh, is it back? We're back
Well,
now?
that's an important part of learning yourself. You know?
Yes, the audio is back.
That
Fantastic.
whole, everything, all of it. None
From
of
the
that was
top?
heard. Yeah. The audio just didn't turn on.
Oh, okay. Well, I will start again.
Sorry.
Amazing. Okay. Hello and welcome to Blackwater D&D. Apologize for the audio issues off the top. We're good friends telling better stories. We are thrilled tonight to be partnering with the wonderful folks over at Rowan, Rook and Decard in support of their Kickstarter for Eat the Reich, showcasing this fantastic game in its first ever actual play online. And if you're new with us tonight, thank you so much for coming by. We're an actual play channel here on Twitch, and our main campaign runs on Monday nights. We play 5e and play around a table in person. It's absolutely delightful. And then we feature indie games and different systems here on Wednesdays. This is the finale of our series tonight, episode 3 of 3, and it's been a super amazing time so far, and I can't wait to jump in. The Kickstarter ended 2 weeks ago, so you can type !Vamp in the chat and keep your eyes peeled for pledging and purchasing, and go and support other stuff over from Rowan, Rook and Decard. So before we talk about the game, I'd like to acknowledge that we are streaming tonight from the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Coast Salish, Stolo, Squamish, and Musqueam First Nations, as well as the Chumash and Tongva people of what is currently California. And while the story takes place in Paris, France in 1943, we are honored to live, work, and play on these lands tonight. Secondly, I'm going to welcome our guest back, June. Hello. I know you just did this with the audio off, but I'm going to ask you to do it again. Who are you and what do you do?
Let's do it. I'm June. My pronouns are they, them. I am an actor and creator and a big fan of Blackwater in Vancouver, BC. And you can find me on Instagram at june.laporte.
Amazing. Thank you. And also our sweet returning cast members of Sean and Adam and Cody and Yanis here. Thank you for joining me as your wonderful wonderful characters, and also welcoming Tim to the game in place of Dead Aussie Gamer, who unfortunately had to miss tonight's episode due to some work commitments. And we're very excited, Tim, to have you here as Flint, the goodest bat boy in the war. And we hope you do that proud. So, okay, before we sink our teeth into tonight's story, we're going to review some content warnings and some tone acknowledgements off the top of the show, just like we did last time. This game was created by the incredibly talented folks over at Rowan, Rook and Decard, namely game designer Grant Howitt, art by Will Kirkby, which you're seeing all over the channel here, production and proofing by Mass Hamilton, with sensitivity consultation by James Mendes Hodds and Rue Dickey. We've also hired Rue as our sensitivity consultant here for this miniseries, and so gracious for their time and advice to ensure we showcase the fun of this game while also giving the scenarios the respect they deserve. So this game was created as an act of creativity to reflect frustration with the real world's ongoing Nazi problem. This game is a heavily inaccurate fictionalization of the events that occurred in the late stages of World War II, and our content warnings here include death, violence, grievous injury to player characters and NPCs, blood, vampirism, mental domination, guns, animated corpses, werewolves, occult magic, fascism, Nazis, and especially in this episode, Hitler. This is not a horror game for the PCs at all because they are so ridiculously powerful, but it is a horror game from the perspective of anyone who opposes the PCs. We are actively employing safety tools as a cast and understand each other's lines and veils. And as well, there are instructions on how to employ safety tools and use lines and veils built right into the game itself, which is hugely cool and very great that they've included this in there. So the tone of this game is ultra-violent, imprecise, over the top, and encourages players to rip apart Nazis in almost cartoonish ways, which is super amazing and very, very fun, as we have been experiencing so far. However, we also want to acknowledge the actual atrocities committed during World War II by the Nazi regime and extensions of fascism. We also want to honor the hundreds of thousands of lives lost and acknowledge the persecution of Jewish, Romani, disabled, queer, and other minority groups through the Holocaust as acts of terror and genocide. And while our story centers around these incredibly powerful vampires who are here to save the day, I also want to acknowledge that real humans kicked Nazi ass and would have continued to kick Nazi ass even if he had employed witches and werewolves. Many war narratives generate pathos by focusing on the helplessness, passivity, and victimhood of the groups the Nazi targeted. And it's very important to highlight that every one of these groups mounted an extremely strong and determined resistance to the Nazi war machine, sometimes against impossible odds, sometimes in full knowledge that they wouldn't survive, and sometimes knowing that they would go home to the countries that defeated the Nazis and still face hatred and prejudice there as well. So thank you, everyone, for sitting with us as we acknowledge this and kind of sit in this space. But I am very, very ready to let you voracious vampires loose on Sector 1. So everyone at home, sit back, relax, and get ready for a little bit of bloodthirsty ultraviolence. Adam, roll the clip. All right, we are back. So, in our last session, in late 1943, our Fang commandos, Iryna, Astrid, Nicole, Chuck, Cosgrave, and Flint, after receiving their mission from Fang Command, rocketed their way through Sector 3 and made their way to Checkpoint Charlie. They stocked up and raced out to clear Sector 2 and encountered 2 of the infamous Ubermensch in the city, Stahlsoldat, which they went through very, very quickly, and Rustwitch, which gave them just a little bit more trouble. They also killed the defected agent, Henry Oswald, who had turned tail on the British and had aligned himself with the Reich. They cleared the metro tunnels, destroyed the German technology pavilion. They stole some cars from an expensive-looking garage, saved some priceless masterpieces at the Museum of Degenerate Art, and cleared the Jardin des Fées. So we pick up as they descend down through a rotating carousel into Checkpoint Bravo. And we can pick up with that music whenever we're ready. So the platform descends down, down, down about 50 feet below the surface, and it hits with a gunk at the bottom and stops rotating. There's a long corridor down, and you see a door at the end. The door looks quite shiny, as well as if it's coated in a metal other than steel or iron. As you leave the platform, you see the items that you dropped through the horses in a bin. So if you'd like to pick up whatever those were, you are welcome to do so. Most notably, I believe, was Iryna's gold button and Flint's echo grenade. So you can count yourself that you have 1 concussion grenade back, which is you have 1 of those, and I believe it's a +1 with metal helmet if they are wearing a metal helmet. So what would you like to do? You're at the bottom of this platform. There's a door at the end of the hall. What would you like to do?
Every party's worst nightmare, a door.
I walk through the door.
Okay,
yes,
so you
the hero, we need it.
Yeah, so you walk down to the end of the hallway, and you walk towards the door. It looks big and sturdy and closed, and there seems to be an eye slot in the middle that looks like you can open from the other side.
I try to open the door like I own the door.
You touch the door and it burns your hand.
Oh, is it silver?
It seems to be covered in silver.
Astrid is going to take Henry Oswald's body.
Yeah.
And use his arm to knock on the door.
Incredible.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So even though Iryna had knocked a little bit and pulled his hand away quickly, the bam, bam, bam of the now dead arm of Agent Henry
Iryna
Oswald.
definitely didn't knock.
Oh, I thought you just...
No. I tried to open the door like I owned the door.
Yes. Incredible,
Flint
yes.
would try to lick your hand, like you're hurt. Like I'd try to lick your hand.
Thank you, darling. You're so kind.
Very sweet. So you open the slot, or the slot just opens. You don't see anybody behind it, but it just opens.
Well, are you going to make us wait out here forever?
You see someone come up behind the eye slot. You just see this part of them. And Nicole, you see a set of eyes that you would know anywhere and that you have not seen in 4 months. They look bloodshot. They look tired. And you can tell they look hungry. Are you here to liberate us? It's about bloody time. We'll let you in. So you hear the door unlock, and the second the door swings open, you smell this mustiness emerge, and as you walk through the door, you see a stark comparison to the veritable hive of organized activity that existed at Checkpoint Charlie. You see a large bunker-style room that has been divided into partitions with very little privacy between each. There's some cots, and you can clock about 10 to 15 people in here. Everybody looks exhausted, and everybody looks like they have not had a good meal in a couple days. You know that they've essentially been locked down here for a week, and you are the first things from the outside that have come down here. As you walk through, standing there, you see Siobhan Kelly, a dark-haired femme with wild eyes that sparkle with mischief. She's in an officer's uniform with an Irish flag on her collar. You see the title Captain, but it's written in Irish Gaelic, and you see a number of insignia as well as a lot of flag and commendation. She's a well-decorated officer. You also see the Fang crest affixed to her uniform. But the most prominent thing you see, Siobhan has fangs, like most of you. This is perhaps the first vampire that you have seen in an official uniform. And she stands there. And she says,
Siobhan,
nice to see you.
is it really you?
I'm standing here.
Why? Why didn't you tell me that you were still alive?
Look, I wasn't allowed to tell you. Okay? It went above clearance, and it was for your own safety. Why do you think I let you stay in my house and didn't just kick you out?
But I loved you. I love you, and I thought you would tell me. Anything. If you needed help. I don't understand.
Nicole, why do you think I turned you?
You just wanted me to be part of your army.
No. That's so far from what I wanted. I wanted you to be strong. And I didn't want to be without you. So I turned you.
I see.
And I was worried that if I left and you weren't safe, that you weren't going to be able to defend yourself. So I did what I thought I should. I should have asked first, but I was desperate. And I knew you'd go into whatever mission they asked you to, undead or otherwise. And plus, if we make it all out of this hellhole, I don't want to not be with you. I have been down here for a week. I'm fucking hungry. And I cannot tell you how good it is to see you.
I've thought about you every day
Yeah, me
for the
too.
last 4 months.
Me too.
And I am so angry at you, but
We
But
can
I'm
deal
so
with
glad
that
to see you.
afterwards. We can deal with that after the war, yeah?
You'll come home with me when we've won.
Technically, it's my house, so you'll come home with me.
Fine.
Okay. And you see there's
And
a bit of
they-
decorum to her as
Mm.
she's standing there noticing the 5 others that are there, but you know exactly what she wants to take you away and leave and go and just be with you. You can see it on her face. It's the
I
same
mean-
look she gave you the night before she left.
We got some time if y'all want to reacquaint.
Yeah. Look, we have been down here for a couple days. I haven't fed in 3. We've run out of blood bags, and I can't feed here. It's too dangerous for me also to go out alone. I assume you saw the screaming, metal-armed woman that was upstairs.
Yeah, she's gone.
Horrifying.
We took care of her.
good. Yeah, good. Okay, great.
I mean, darling, if you need a feed, it's cold, but slump the Henry's body just on the floor. Just drop it.
Yeah. Really? Can I have that?
There might not be much left.
Yeah, man, I'll take whatever you got. And she
Whatever's
just
in
started.
there's yours.
Speaking of whatever you've got, do you have any wine, brandy, port? Just, no.
She kind of does like a sweeping motion. The bunker. You know what, man? If you find some, it's fucking yours.
I walk over to a nearby soldier. Excuse me?
She while Iryna walks off, she looks at the rest of you. This place was pretty innocuous and felt like the perfect hiding spot for a checkpoint on the edge of Sector 1. But then they let whoever the fuck that was loose in the park, and then the carousel stopped working. The carousel stopped working and we couldn't get out. So thank you for coming down here. We had some people going a little stir crazy, but we managed to keep it together. The nuns have been very helpful.
Have you been told about our mission?
We were told about it, and we lost comms with Charlie about a week ago. We knew you were coming through. We just didn't know when, and we had hoped that you'd come through, and we're grateful that you did. And you see there's kind of like a bunch of people kind of gathered around you, and you just see them nodding. They look really, really grateful that you're here.
Surely if you have London's second best necromancer, do you know? Surely he would have been able to handle this.
We have
And
London's first best necromancer, and she's been doing just fine.
Is that why there's nothing to eat? It's been reanimated and put to work?
Generally, yes. That's what we had to send upstairs to do any scouting because we didn't want to lose anybody down here. We've really tried to adopt here at Bravo that there is no unnecessary loss of life.
I hate to
Nobody
talk
needs to be
shop,
here.
but when she does that, does she take the eyes? Did she take one and like hold it to her head, or does she go in sort of like a silent trance? I'm terribly curious.
You see that that Siobhan kind of points down at the end, and she says, "There's not much here, but take what you can. We're likely going to abandon most of what we can't carry. We've got about one truck for transport stationed, kind of just outside. It broke down, but now that the witch is dead, we can get it out of here. We're going to be evacuating in one
Ding
shot."
dong, the witch is dead.
Ding
Occultism
dong.
down this way?
Yes, it is.
Quickly, Lindsay's off to go meet the finest necromancer in London.
So she looks at the rest of you here. She's like, "If you've got blood on you, please feel free to feed, but we ask no snacking on the officers. They'd be shitty meals anyway. They'd all taste like garbage.
No,
If
it smells
you-
awful down here. I think
Yeah.
I'll stick to above ground meals.
Yeah, it does smell bad, and with our elevated
offense.
sense of smell, no, it's totally okay, man. We're
Flint
it's
seems pretty at home with the smell.
incredible.
He's getting down with the smell.
She points towards the back at the very end. When you're done, go see Tommy Prince of the 1st Canadian Special Services. He's run comm lines through Sector 1, and he can guide you along with intel if you have a working radio with you. We can't let anyone else go forward into Sector 1, but he'll be able to help you out through.
Yeah, I believe I took one, did I not?
You do, as above board.
Yeah.
Yes, you do have a radio. It is broken, but you can fix it potentially.
No, I'll take a look, see if I can fix it.
She says, "I'll trust you. Make yourself acquainted here." And she turns back to everyone, and you just hear her yell, "Let's move out, Bravo. We're taking travel teams to Charlie. We load out in an hour." And so she shoots you a wink, Nicole, and she walks off to go work. So since there are limited resources here, and we're going into the final stretch, you are only allowed to clear one use of each weapon that you've used. You can fix one injury here for free, but the rest will be dependent on blood usage that you have, and at the cost of 3 blood per injury to clear. There are a few stations here at Bravo that you can use, but essentially it's like Command wants you back on the road ASAP. There's 4 regions. You've got the chapel, you've got occultism, you've got tech and machinery and intel, and then you'll see Special Services Officer Prince. So where would you like to go? Who would like to go where?
Occultism.
Flint would make his way over to the chapel,
Okay.
kind of like peeking in.
Amazing. We'll deal with occultism first. So you walk down to kind of a more cordoned off partition. You see that kind of like you've seen with every other occultism wing, there's lots of curtains. They're trying to have some privacy and create a very homey, safe space for the work that they have to do. As you round the corner, is there anything you do upon approach? Like what's Cosgrave feeling
for
right
the
now?
first time in the entire series, he buttons up his shirt. He closes, he makes himself a little more presentable. He bites his thumb and slicks his hair back with a bit of blood, and he can't check his reflection, but he just trusts he looks good.
So as you kind of push your way through the curtains, you lay eyes on London's and likely Britain's first best necromancer. Her name is Ceylan Goskell. You see a strawberry blonde-haired woman with freckles across her cheeks, bright blue eyes. She's wearing a all-black military uniform, and you see a pentagram stitched into her collar next to the British flag. Ah, Cosgrave, is it?
Oh, yeah. I'm preceded by that thing that people talk about when they mention you. Sorry.
Your reputation.
Yes, that's the one. That's the way. You're the one with the reputation. My goodness, wow. It's so good to
It's
be
lovely
here.
to meet you. And she extends her hand towards you.
Yeah, Cosgrave, oh my goodness, now I'm getting nervous. Cosgrave
Full
thinks
2 grand.
about doing the like kiss on the hand, but like kind of does the curve and like bails on it halfway through and does sort of like a little shaky handshake where you grab the tip of their fingers, and it's bad. It's not great.
Incredible. She just laughs a little bit and she's like, I'm glad you're here. People were starting to get worried and I only had so many corpses to animate. So
Tell me about it.
right.
For people so mortal, they sure do kick on, don't they?
They take a lot, and it takes a lot of work. You know how it is. We could talk shop all day.
We should. We've got time. Hitler's gonna die eventually. Like, we're gonna get him, but you know, if you're not doing anything,
if
I'm
not
kidding.
doing
I'm
anything-
kidding. I'm kidding. I would love to just know how you. Do you take out the eye do you take out one eye and then press? Like, is it the old, like Vishnasya technique, or what do you do for your scouting? I have to know.
I studied under Professor Mibel. Have you heard of him?
Well, I don't believe I've been acquainted.
In some, his accent is quite thick, and some pronounce it Meebol, but it's pronounced Mibel.
Spag, yes. We've never had the pleasure of meeting, but we
Well,
kept
he's still-
letters back in the day.
He's I learned a lot. Generally, we went off topic, but before he died, he taught me quite a few things, and I still have my notes. If you'd ever like to look through them, I'd be happy to pass them on. Knowledge
Yes.
should be best shared with this profession.
Absolutely, I think that's completely true.
Is Bishop still fucking around Hackney?
Yes, he is, and it's good. It's good. We are acquaintances, and we do our best to keep the dead people up together.
Cosgrave, he's a hack.
Yes. Fuck, is he good? God damn.
I think he's a bit of a muppet, but
Oh yeah, but it's like he's like the two Muppets who are really good, the two science ones, the one and the bald one with the glasses. Like he fuck. God, is he good?
is he
The
still doing
most-
that thing with the crystal ball?
Hmm?
Is he
Yes,
still doing the thing with the calling
He's good with the
cards?
crystal ball. I was able
Yes.
to observe it and see 20 years in the future Adam Lucas to observe the creation of the
I was
Muppets.
gonna say the most anachronistic thing we've done this whole series.
Incredible. Well,
Yeah,
I
we're
know.
flying off and blowing up Nazis with runes.
Absolutely.
But we
We're
can't
doing
acknowledge that
great.
Muppets exist.
Yeah, that's why it's so
The
impressive how
early thoughts
anachronistic
of
it
are there.
is.
The early thoughts are there. I have been. Well, I'm packing up here, but I would love the opportunity to, connect in the future. I think a lot of people are like, oh well, Silent is all doing this very much like classified work, so we can't talk to her, and I think that gets kind of boring. So I've been toying around with. Sometimes the ghosts are nice, but sometimes they're shits. And
Yes.
I take the shitty ones and I bottle them together, and then if it helps, if I'm in need of a bit of a kick. So I'm not going to be using it. I'm heading back to Charlie, and then likely we'll be back to Command before you guys go in. Why don't you take these? And she passes 2 bottles toward you. And she goes, these work particularly well against other undead that you may come across. So just be careful who you point them at.
I can't wake up in the evening without huffing a ghost or two, so this is perfect. Right up my alley.
Good. So you have now 2 uses of what we call unruly ghosts,
Unruly ghost.
and it adds a plus to either your brawl or your terrify.
Ooh.
And you get an extra 2 dice if the target that you're doing this on is already dead.
Undead. That's Brawl and Terrify, Unruly Ghost. Copy that.
Yes. And she looks at you as well, and she goes, have you had your cards read lately?
Not by you.
Wow. You should come by my shop when you come back.
I would love that.
Good.
Cheerio. Someone's got to kill Hitler, eh? All right.
She kind of gives you a wave as you lead.
And he breaks into a sweat. Which he hasn't done in a couple centuries.
Incredible.
Unruly ghosts.
Unruly ghosts, yes.
There we go.
So Flint, you head over to the chapel and you see a small area with 2 nuns. They look tired, but they look like they've been keeping very well. One is tending to an officer's bruises with an ointment of some kind, and the other looks to be beginning to pack a few small Bibles and kind of their religious accoutrement into boxes for transport.
Okay, Flint would like come to the side of the door and just like peek in.
And one of the nun who is bandaging up the officer, she goes, "Hello."
Like bring his hand over.
She goes, "Come on in. Come on."
Like kind of come into the room, sort of duck under the door frame.
And she like pats a spot on like one of the makeshift pews for you.
He jumps up and leaps on it. And it's a little ungainly because he almost hits the roof.
And she looks at you and she goes, "My name is Sister Daniela de Jesus. It's nice to meet you, Flint. I've heard a lot about you. I know Sister Marie Jose."
Ah.
And you as Tim would know if you were Flint, that Sister Marie Jose is your favorite nun at Fang Command.
Yeah, his like foot starts tapping on the pew.
And she like gives you a little scritchy under your chin.
Oh, he starts drooling a little bit.
She just laughs. And she goes, "Now, can you give this back to Sister Marie Jose for me? I borrowed it from her for something I was trying, and I really promised I'd returned it." And she kind of like reaches into the pocket of her habit, and you see her pull out a small red, or I guess it's actually probably looks like a kerchief, like a square of some kind. And if you look at it, it's embroidered with the phrase "steadfast love and plentiful redemption," which is, you know, from Psalms 130 verses 7-8, which is Marie Jose's favorite.
Tuck it in his coat vest thing.
And she like fluffs it a little bit on you, so you're kind of wearing it almost like a little necktie, little neckerchief. And you have the nun's favor, which is 1 use, and it's a +2 to any roll.
Nice.
Any roll that you choose.
Okay.
And she kind of gives you like a little pat. She goes, "Are you hungry?"
Oh.
And she kind of like looks around and she digs down and she pulls out a really big Bible. She pulls out like a really big one and she opens it and you see a blood bag hidden in a Bible. And she like passes it over to you.
Just just goes crazy on it. Just snaps it in half.
Amazing. So you can mark +1 blood as well.
So much blood.
So much blood. You have a lot of blood. Lots of blood. Okay. There's tech and machinery. There's also intel. Would anyone else like to go anywhere else?
Yeah, I'll go to check out tech.
Okay. Sounds
I'll
good.
follow Chuck.
All right. So Chuck and Astrid, you walk over to kind of the makeshift tech wing, machinery, firearms, artillery, all of that kind of stuff has kind of been put onto what you see as 2 people. You see a broad, blonde-haired man dressed in an American uniform. He's smoking a cigarette and he's starting to load like tools and weaponry into crates. Most of it looks broken and most of it looks to be German. This guy's got like real all-American vibes to him. He looks like he absolutely played football in some sort of college before he came to the war. And the other man you see is also wearing an American uniform. He's black. And you see a set of keys on his hip. And Chuck, you would recognize the insignia that he is an officer who is responsible for transport. Essentially, these are trained soldiers who are ready to protect the people that they are driving, often behind enemy lines.
Evening, fellas.
Oh, hello. You must be Chuck.
Yes, correct.
And the other one pipes up, Astrid. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you as well. How do you fare down here?
Well, it's been I've been doing a lot, and you see this is the kind of all-American. I've been doing a lot of tinkering, keeping my hands busy. Otherwise, I get kind of itchy. So it's fix a gun, build something. I don't know. Otherwise, and he like kind of wipes the oil off his hands and he extends his hand forward. Technical Sergeant Mac Russell. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. The cabin fever must have been just god-awful.
Yeah, you can smell it. It's pretty bad.
Unfortunately, I can't. But seems you're getting released today. Good for you.
Thank you. And we're gracious for what you're doing, heading forward in Sector 1.
They'll have the same job. No reason to thank us.
Fair enough. Mac then kind of looks back at you, Chuck, and he goes, "You were stationed and trained at Camp Bow with Lieutenant Bryman, right?"
That is correct. Yeah.
I have heard many a story about you. It is an honor to meet you. And he is like seems very interested in you, even though he absolutely, in the straight of military, outranks you by a mile.
Yeah, you a football fan?
You know, I did throw a pigskin before I enlisted. Yes, I was captain of my my school's team.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
This was more important.
Yeah.
So, listen, we don't have much down here. We've kind of outfitted everyone, and I don't have much to spare. But Matt kind of leans over and he takes a look at your boots. Those spurs look like they need a sharpening. What'd you say?
I like where your head's at. Yeah. Let's see if we can do something to them.
Okay, so he takes out kind of a long file out of a toolbox, and he gets to work on your spurs. Go ahead.
Chuck would take his boots off, and I think as he does, you'd see he's not wearing any socks, and some of the toes stay behind in the boots.
Oh no! Everybody hated that one.
Oh, Mac, I'm sorry about that smell.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I took these off. I should probably take them off more often.
It smells like the locker room at Camp Bow. So that's
mainly my fault. That's mainly my fault from last time I took my boots off. I think that was the last time.
Now that
I think about it, yeah, that was the last time I took my boots off.
You should take those off less, I would say.
You know that I've never thought. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm taking them off. Once you sharpen those spurs, they will not come off again.
Well, a cowboy usually keeps on what he takes with him, is what I've heard. So,
it's true. It's true. That's why they call it knocking boots, because we leave the boots on.
He laughs at that, and he begins work sharpening your spurs. And so these are what I've affectionately called the kick in the teeth. And you have 2 uses to them, and you get a +2 if you are on horseback.
Nice. Question for you.
Yeah.
Do they have ammo for me to get some more exploding rounds?
There is no exploding ammo around here.
Gosh darn. All right.
I'm sorry. They have kind of lost out everything.
No worries.
So the as he's sharpening your spurs, he looks at the both of you. You know, I was Cylon had sent some of the bodies out to do some scouting, and she was able to see this little museum thing that the Nazis have set up. It looks like they've been trying to showcase some of the European warfare tech history, stuff like that in there. We tried to get in, but we heard some screaming and some groaning and some bashing around inside, so we didn't want to risk it. Some chanting as well. Might be a good place for some weapons, more than what we've got down here, but that's probably where I'd go if you have time to swing by.
Yeah, we can make some time. Why not?
Yeah. Also, apparently, were you who we needed to see about fixing the radio?
You're probably gonna want to talk to Tommy on your way out.
All
he's
right.
He's a whiz with the comms. You'll be good. Okay. And the other gentleman in the room, the transport officer, he comes over to you, Astrid, and he you are actually seeing someone who matches your stature and your size. You see muscles equivalent. This was work done without being a vampire. You see a very broad, very well-built guy, and he extends just a mitt to you. And Officer Evans, Medgar Evans, ma'am. It's very nice to meet you.
Astrid, nice to meet you as well. And she's going to just absolutely squeeze the shit out of his hand. This is going to be a like,
Okay,
not to break it, but I want to see if he can take the squeeze.
Okay, so you're gonna roll a brawl for me then,
Absolutely.
and I'm gonna roll an
Ooh.
opposed brawl.
Yeah.
What's
I love
Astrid's
this.
brawl? Is it a 4?
3.
A 3. Okay.
Highest is a 5. Oh, I got
So-
a 5 and a 4 and a 2. We do on
4s and
amount of
5s.
successes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So I got a 5 and a 5. So you you meet someone who is finally able to equate your handshake.
That's an impressive grip you have there, young man.
Well, you got to be ready for whatever comes after you when you're driving.
Absolutely. What do you drive?
A big fucking truck.
I like that.
We're part of the Red Ball Express. We well, my job is to drive the nuns, and I protect them.
I'm sure you do a wonderful job of that.
Try my best. And he pulls something out of his pocket, and you see a set of brass knuckles. Now, most brass knuckles that you've come across in the past just haven't been able to fit your hand, but these will. And he passes them over to you. He goes, "Ain't much, but you'll get better use out of them than I do. I got another set hidden in my truck if it hasn't been looted, so you take those."
Thank you.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
welcome.
Incredibly kind. It's difficult to find things like this in I was going to say my size, but I suppose our size.
I thought as much.
Lovely meeting you.
Yeah, you too. You take good care out there, and you give him heck, okay?
I'll do my best. You as well. Goodbye.
So these are called the 1-2 punch. It is a pair of brass knuckles. There's 3 uses of them, and it's a +2 pow right in the kisser.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So if
Hell yeah.
if you can incorporate that in there somewhere, you get an extra plus with that one. All right. And so other than that, so that's probably all of that. That's about all they've got at
Yeah, I think
machinery
is
and tech.
I think is Max handing back the boots.
Yep.
I think Chuck would. Well, thank you. I got a little something for you as well.
Oh.
And he would sort of pull out from underneath his jacket a chain, and hanging around it would be like a football ring, like a state championship football ring from like a little bit too long ago for
Yeah.
Chuck's age, like 1906. You know, like no, I mean, I don't really have much more use for it, but it's a pretty cool keepsake, I think. So thank you.
He looks at it and he goes, "Well, shit. This
I mean,
is,
I can't wear it. It's plated in silver, so kind of just wear it on this chain. But
That makes sense. Well, I will carry it with pride. So thank you."
yeah, remember the two-toed cowboy.
Texas strong, my friend. Texas strong. And so he takes the ring with like a lot of graciousness, and he and Officer Medgar Evers wave the both of you out the door. Would anyone like to head over to Intel? No?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll head
Right.
on over to Intel.
Okay. So you, Chuck, head on into Intel, and you see a petite woman with curly brown hair and very bright eyes. She has like a beret on, and it's just a mass of curls underneath. And she has a slight French accent with some British tones to it. You see that she's wearing diamond earrings, and she's wearing like a large carat diamond earrings in the middle of a war. Definitely a statement piece for sure. And she's got this sense of kind of like old money to her. for sure. There is definitely some wealth here that has been accumulated within her family, or you really don't know how she's got it. She goes, "Oh, hello.
Bonjour.
Your accent is not that bad, considering you are American, no?"
Murky. Yeah.
Well, my name is Pearl. That's very nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
And what can I do for you? Can I help you with anything?
Anything we should know? We're heading out to see the Zeppelin. I believe it's.
Ah, the Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have been known to host a party or two, and sometimes the high-ranking Nazis, they come to these parties, and they keep me in the room to make sure I can get some information or things like that, and then sometimes the Nazis disappear after these parties. So, whatever. Well, I have heard them talk about this panic room aboard the Zeppelin. Everyone is very, very curious about it. Hitler has plans to retreat there if anything happens. So I would say if you cannot find him on the Zeppelin, that is where he is. It is reinforced steel. I was listening to and entertaining the wife of the person who designed it. And it is also, not that I know a lot about the magic stuff, but it is apparently, what is that word? Warded, protected, so that you cannot break in. And there is a passcode, apparently, that you need to write down on the door to get in. So I'm not sure what the password is, but I'm sure perhaps you could figure it out once you're there.
All right. So we'll look for the panic room. We'll need a passcode.
That's the
and
one.
break the wards.
That's the one. And
All right.
One last thing while you're here.
Mm.
She pulls out some large, they look like they might be stained, like colored glass. And if to potentially the unappraised eye, they could probably pass for very large, like cut gems. One looks to be an approximation of a sapphire, another looks to be an approximation of an emerald, and another looks to be an approximation of a ruby. These are good to barter with. If you need to get out of a jam, I had 2 others, but I had to give them away. So I'm heading back to my estate in the country after this, so I don't need them. Consider them a calling card if you're in the area. And any of you wonderful, your group is welcome at my estate anytime.
Oh, perfect. Are these real?
Goodness no.
Oh, all right.
And
Awesome.
you pick up what look like fake gems. And you see inside that they have a small mechanical device. It looks very, very small and seems to be kind of obfuscated by the kind of crystalline designs and potentially some cloudy areas in these potentially uncut or these cut like imperfect gems. And she goes, you might also need this too. That would be. So she pulls out looks like a little box about this big that has 3 buttons on it: red, blue, and green. And these I am calling the spoils of war. And they are essentially remote explosive devices. And they will explode about 30 seconds after you press the button. And you get a +2 to they love to watch you leave. So if you use these to barter or get your way out of a situation, you get extra pluses to them.
+2.
Okay. All right. And so, Nicole, as you're kind of milling about watching everyone do their thing, Siobhan, after having, gotten everybody in Bravo together, she goes, "You want to smoke?"
God, yes.
She pulls out a pack of menthols, which is what she normally smokes. She lights one for herself and then, flicking her lighter, lights one for you as well. And she goes, "I should really fucking quit these. It's not good for me."
Why? Are you gonna die?
No, but you probably need these right now more than I do. And she passes you the carton, and it has 2 cigarettes in it. She these ones tend to keep me more steady when I felt like I was ready to run. And I don't want to run anymore.
What's in them?
Fuck if I know. I bought them off of an obfuscationist before I left.
You're always an enigma.
Well, I'd like to start maybe letting you get to know me better.
I would like that.
Okay.
You've revived me, seeing you here. There's more to fight for, and I know we're gonna kill Hitler and end this.
Well, good. Because you need to come home. Because I want to make dinner for you.
That's a laugh. You're a terrible cook.
I know. There've got to be more things that you can do with blood than just drink it, right? I don't know.
I look forward to you cooking, and I look forward to a mundane life spent with you.
Me too. So these cigarettes. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Nicole just reaches out tenderly to touch Siobhan's face and kisses her tenderly.
She kisses you back, and she bites your lip a little bit.
So feisty.
You know it. And so these cigarettes are just called Siobhan's Menthols, and you have 2 of them, and they are a +1 to your shoot or a +1 to your sneak.
Oh,
if you
awesome.
smoke one. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So that's kind of all of the areas here at Bravo. If there was
Iryna
anything
has
else
spent
you
the
do,
entire time having found a soldier, and they've made this soldier describe Iryna's hair as Iryna fixes it.
because there's no mirrors.
Well, vampires can't see themselves anyway.
This is also true.
So Iryna's basically getting this guy to describe their hair as they try to fix it and put it back in place, as they fix their messed up hair wound that they took at the end of the last episode.
Well done.
Iryna, when I was up at the, I got you something, a little something.
If it is a new suit, I would be so appreciative. This suit is destroyed.
No, but it is, it can be quite fun. I would give Iryna the 3 gems explosives.
Oh, shiny. Very
Not
fake. but
not really
shiny.
my, you think that I couldn't tell that they weren't fake, but anyways,
Darling, it's so cute.
figure you could use these a bit better than I could. Not really my style.
Yeah, I appreciate the gesture. It's very kind, and obviously I accept this tribute that you're paying me.
You're very welcome.
Yes. As is my right as a noble vampire of Eastern Europe, I expect tribute from all of my friends. Thank you, darling. And
I expect tribute from all of my friends.
and I give him a little I give him a little pinch on the cheek, and then I flounce away again, having fixed my hair.
Having fixed your hair. Okay, so all of you having exhausted the resources here at Checkpoint Bravo, you make your way over to Officer Prince, and you see a tall indigenous man wearing a beret with Canadian insignia and an exceedingly well-decorated uniform. He looks to be packing away radios in boxes. He kind of looks up at your approach. Oh, you're ready to go.
No, yeah, we were told you might have ability to contact us if we have a radio.
I do. Do you have one on you? I don't have any that I could lend out per se, but
I do. It's not currently functioning. Maybe we could fix it.
Yeah, I'd love to help you fix it. And he extends a hand towards you.
And
Tommy Prince.
Tommy. Chuck, nice to meet you.
Wonderful to meet you. And you see, I think Chuck would probably have the most experience with Indigenous folks, being from the States as well. And you see the words Broken Head Ojibwe also embroidered into his collar. And so he puts the radio down in front of you, and you can roll a fix here if you want to help him fix it. And he will give you a +1 dice to that.
Perfect. My fix is 4.
So you got 5 dice. And you're looking for 3 successes to fix this radio.
Yeah, that's 5 successes.
Fantastic. So you and Officer Prince take a couple minutes here and you fix up this broken German radio into something that seems quite functional. There is some duct tape involved, and definitely some back pocket and soldering that it won't hold past this next sector, but it works for now. And so you're headed into Sector 1 at this point, and it's basically dark. From here on out, you've got this radio, so I'll be able to feed you safe routes through Paris myself. I'll keep my radio on me, and my unit has laid comm lines throughout most of Sector 1 before we restationed, mostly here at Bravo, and then back at Charlie. If you stick to the route, you should have comms with me through most of it. There is a dead zone right outside the Eiffel Tower, but I can support you anywhere up till there.
Perfect. Amazing. Thank you so much.
I will also remind the two of you, because it's been a week since we played, you have now information about the War Museum. And there's also, you got a very brief snippet of information about the concert hall from Agent Henry Oswald. So if you want to put those into your route, you can do so. You can always radio Officer Prince on your route as well. So, all right, we're going to load you back out. And if you follow the route, you should be able to make it to the Eiffel Tower in no time.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I really
Right.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone. We'll Creator guide you. We'll see you soon. So he walks you back over to the platform. Is there anything else anyone would like to do as they're preparing to leave, as they're preparing to go back above ground?
No, I think with the
Let's go kill Hitler.
Let's go kill Hitler.
Why not?
Amazing. Let's fucking go. So he leads you back to the platform. The bunker now looks basically packed up and ready to go. You stand on the platform and he flips a lever and you start circling back up towards the Jardin des Fées. Your cars are technically still outside the garden, and if you have any uses on your cars, you are welcome to use them. They do not recharge, so you do not get to recharge the uses on your cars. I think each of them had 2 uses, so I'm not sure how many of those that you have used. So you hear as you get over to your cars, did you, now, logically, the closest one will be the Museum of Modern Warfare, which... Tech Sergeant Russell told you was basically right across the way. Yeah, Iryna.
Now, last week, I think we ended off with an operational tank, I believe.
You did not.
Wasn't one of the
2
tanks
them,
operational, but it had a hole in it?
It has a giant hole through both of its treads. So if you can fix that, you can... I mean, it'll be a big fix check, and it'll take you some
Chuck,
time.
you're so good at fixing things. Can we fix this tank? It would be very fun. Think about it.
All right. Let me see if I can take a look.
Wonderful, darling.
Yeah, all right. I mean, if you think killing Hitler can wait, absolutely. And
Killing Hitler will go faster if we have a tank.
So this is going to be an objective level 10 to fix this tank. So you can take the time to do so if you would like. But you have also 2 cars there as well if you want.
All right. Let me take a look.
Can we strap the cars to the tank? Because it's the tread that's not working. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Astrid
where
could-
your head's at.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me just throw this at you here.
As I go looking up stats for a tank.
I'm gonna use the last 2 charges of my tool belt, which give me 2,
Yeah.
plus jerry rigging, which gives me 3.
Okay.
Can Astrid
Plus-
help through brute force?
My-
This would definitely
lift.
be. This is definitely
Lift the tank.
a strictly, I would say, a fix check. For
Yeah.
this
So
I've got the help action, I guess. I'm pretty
Yeah.
fixy. I've got a 3, so I'll give you a 2, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know. That sounds balanced.
that's 5, and then I have a plus 4 to fix,
Okay.
which is 9.
96 at this point.
96. And then I have an advance called Elbow Grease. When you roll up your sleeves and take on an objective single-handed with a fixed skill, you gain special reduce objectives rating by 4.
Is that actually true?
That is 100% true.
Fix
Jesus
this tank.
Christ.
Fix this
So
tank.
Get a tank.
He's
Please
all
let
by
me-
himself. He's
let-
fixing it.
He's doing it.
Where are we here?
Iryna will have his tank.
Iryna
Elbow
said
grease.
fix it.
When you roll up your sleeves and you take on an objective single-handed with a fixed skill, you gain the motherfucking special. Abuse the objective. Yeah, so it's only 6 to fix this fucking tank.
But
Yeah.
I will say, to be fair, I can't accept the 3 help from you.
2 help.
Because
from-
that
so it's 7 only.
Single-handed.
It's only 7 because I have
Yeah.
to do it single-handed.
Now,
Yes.
we do have to go up the Eiffel Tower, so we'll see how far this tank can get us. But
Well, so not last week, but the week before, was like, look at the items and see anything you need. And there is a tank on the items, and it's got
There
a plus
is.
for going through walls. So why don't we
Yes.
just drive
All right.
as the crow flies straight to the Eiffel
Straight
Tower?
line.
So I rolled.
And you only have 3 uses of your tank. That's it. So
I
if you
rolled
get this
7.
tank,
I rolled 7 dice.
okay,
I got 1 4.
okay,
I got 1 5.
mm-hmm,
I got 1 6.
mm-hmm.
And I got 1 more 6
Let's
for
go.
6,
yes.
You
which I
motherfuckers.
believe is what I needed.
Tank, tank,
So
tank.
it takes you about 25 minutes, Chuck, and it is with uncanny skill that you watch as he single-handedly, let's be
Yeah,
very clear,
I think what he
puts
does
this
is
fucking tank together. Yes.
what he does is the part of the issue is that it's very difficult to get at the machinery that needs to be repaired.
Yes.
And you see he kind of like pops his hand off and and it kind of crawls away into the mechanics on its own.
Here I was
a
thinking
little
you
bit.
were gonna put your tongue into it and like you're like lashing tongue and
I gotta save the tongue for later.
incredible. Yeah. So you now have 1 operational tank. It can fit 2 of you inside.
I
I'll
sit
drive.
in the back of the tank, similar to like the back seat. If it's near a button that I can shoot the gun, that's great. But I sit in the back of the tank.
Okay. Yeah, you the tank is you have 3 uses of it. It's essentially like a +1 for your tank and a +1 if you go through a wall.
Could I ride on the nose of it?
Yeah,
the-
absolutely you can.
What is that
Mhm.
called? Barrel.
The
Yeah.
I'll
You
just
could
be.
have-
I want to just be on.
You wanna be on the
barrel.
With your
tank.
giant cross.
Exactly.
This is a true story. One of the first things I did in film and television when I moved to Vancouver is I made a documentary about people who live here who collect all sorts of crazy stuff. And there was one guy who had a tank, like a fully functional tank that he just owned. And when we were filming it, he told us for fun he was going to take us to A&W in the tank, and we sat on the outside of the tank and he drove it through the A&W drive-through in like Abbotsford. It was wild.
That's awesome.
Is
wait,
that
that
illegal?
actually happened?
That actually
I
happened.
believe-
It's not
Oh
legal.
I
my
believe.
God.
No, I believe if you can get a permit that lets you drive a tank.
I
'cause
believe
there's,
as
like-
long as you're
special-
driving through the drive-through, they have to serve you.
Also,
Like,
also,
I just meant the driving the tank.
Also,
Owning
from
a tank.
But from a legal standpoint, if you're in a tank, are they going to be able to stop you? You know, like
True.
you're in a tank at
That's
that
true.
point. It has to be
Alright.
legal, or
so
else.
are
you know?
you going
It has to be legal or else.
Yeah, you're in a tank.
Are you going to
You're going on a watch
either
list,
the
my
Museum
guy.
of Modern Warfare or the concert hall at all, or are you heading straight for the Eiffel Tower?
We got to go check out some of those.
Mm-hmm.
Which one was the one that my football playing friend told me to check out?
The museum.
He told you to check out the Museum of Modern Warfare.
I think we should pop by there.
Amazing. You drive the tank across the street,
Yeah.
and it's right there.
Oh man, we're
More
here.
tanks.
So you
Good thing we fixed up this tank.
Good thing you
Yes.
fixed it up and used one of your uses of your tank to drive across the street.
That was
so
mean. That was mean of you, M. Carlson. That was mean of you.
Wow.
I'm the GM here. I do what I
Yeah,
want.
that's fair.
Yeah, she got me there.
They got you.
I gotcha. So you see a sprawling and kind of poorly maintained museum containing tools of war, 1,000 from like 1,000 years ago on modern display. You see some weapons, you see some armor, you see siege engines, banners, uniforms, and kind of more stuff line these glass cabinets and moth-eaten exhibition spaces. You go inside. Do you crash your tank through the wall?
No,
No.
I'm safe in my tank.
You save your tank through the wall. Okay. So as you
It's
head
our first
inside,
day with the tank.
Yeah, be nice.
you actually look like you could cut straight through the Museum of Modern Warfare, just around the other side to the concert hall, where you have heard that there is something named Vogel located inside,
Yeah,
which
but
was
you're
given
gonna
to you.
you can make me use another use of my tank. I know what you're playing at here.
Drive through.
You're gonna make me use all my tank before I even get to the Eiffel Tower.
You know,
A lot of
it's your
my
choice.
tank talk happening here.
As
I
the
think,
person who
if I recall,
fixed it.
I'm sitting in the back of the tank, making me the boss.
So as you go into the Museum of Modern Warfare, you smell the strong but recognizable stench of undeath. So as you look around, Cosgrave, you would see right away the hack job of necromancy. You see someone who has tried very hard to approximate necromancy and potentially a desperate Nazi warlock, and some ambling suits of armor start picking themselves up and running towards you. You see some mummies that lift themselves out of their sarcophagi, and you also hear halfway between a neigh and a screech of a horse that seems to be walking down the hallway towards you. Tim, do you want to flip over to that metal music, please, as we start killing some Nazis here?
This looks like the work of Bavaria's 7th greatest necromancer.
All right. So your objective here is to smash through the museum before you are overwhelmed by undead. That is a challenge. That is a threat level 8, or like objective level 8, with a challenge rating of 1. You see a bunch of semi-animated corpses running towards you. These are known as Einerjar, and behind them you see a team of museum guards with pistols and batons, essentially a police patrol coming towards you. So the Einerjar is a threat
Tim,
level
I'm
7.
getting both music at once.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You have to click.
It's creepy spy music as well as metal music.
It honestly is kind of lining up not badly.
Yeah,
And
great.
can
Now
you
we
give
go.
me can you give me the objective and the
Yes.
sorry.
Objective is to smash through the museum before you're overwhelmed by the undead. That's an objective level 8 with a challenge rating of 1. You have the Einerjar, which are semi-animated corpses running towards you, which is a threat level 7 and attack level 3. There's also a caveat here that you cannot regain any blood when you start attacking this foe, because they are bloodless. They are animated mummies and armor. They also have a thing called Painless. Each of the dice in my attack pool that shows a 1 increases the challenge rating by 1 for that particular action. So there might be a higher challenge rating for you. Then there's also a team of museum guards, which is a threat level 4 and attack level 2. So what would you like to do? Who's up first?
Chuck would say to Iryna, tank's all yours, and he would take off running down the barrel of the tank and take a leap at that horse. He wants to jump
Amazing.
on the back of that horse.
Okay. Are you attacking the horse? Are you going to kill the horse?
No, I'm gonna ride the horse.
Incredible. All right. I am going to say you can roll a con for that. I need you to get the horse on your side.
Yeah. Animal handling.
I'm
Yes.
real bad. I'm real bad at con.
And by the insignia on
But you're
it,
good
you
at
look-
horse.
You look that this is potentially one of the horses that was buried with Napoleon when he died.
French horse.
Yeah.
It's an old ass horse.
I was gonna say that's an old ass horse.
That's one success. I only roll 1 dice for con.
I mean, it's a horse, and you are a cowboy. So I think if I didn't give this to you, that would be
I
punishment.
mean, the spurs are plus if I'm on a horse. I mean, this is
Yeah.
here for me.
I did give you a horse. I did want to be kind and give you a horse. All right, so you managed to
A very cool DM.
very
Very
cool
cool.
DM.
But only when it
Horse
comes to
fits in the
non-tank
tank.
related things.
Absolutely. So you, Chuck, it's like absolutely like it's effortless to watch Chuck kind of take one hand on the saddle that is mounted. It's like a very like noble, like not functional looking French saddle for Napoleon. It's also not created for a man of your stature. Napoleon was very small, and you swing your leg up and over, and this horse is under your command. I will allow you to do that as since you didn't attack anything. I will allow you to do that kind of for free. What would you like to do, Mr. Cowboy on a horse?
I'm just gonna start charging through.
Amazing. Would you like to attack the Einar Jar, or would you like to attack the museum guards?
The Einar Jar are the stronger ones. I'll start shooting up some Einar Jar.
Amazing. So they are going to roll their attack against you.
Perfect.
Also, Napoleon being short was actually the result of a very strong propaganda. He was of the average height of a French man during the time.
Right.
He wasn't that short.
He's American.
If I can yes and that, actually, it was also because the British and the French used different measurement systems.
Yeah, the French foot was different to the British foot. Yeah,
Incredible.
Or inch. It was the inch.
And
So I
Chuck's
did
foot
not.
is different to everyone else's.
It's true.
I did
It's
not
not
roll
partially
any.
attached.
I did not roll any successes, but I did roll a 1. So the challenge rating for this is 1. So
All
you have
right.
to spend 1 of your dice to overcome anything before you start taking away threat levels.
I rolled 3 successes, so 2, and I will take away 2 from their threats.
Incredible.
So, down to a 5.
And you're using your pistols as you do this. So
I used
Chuck,
one charge of the pistol.
amazing. Chuck starts riding forward and just you start hearing guns, pistols ablazing from our cannibal cowboy. Who is up next?
Can I give Chuck one of my items?
Yes, you can.
I lean out of the tank and I go, Chuck, darling, this is perfect for you. And I toss him my cavalry saber.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I
Well
literally
done,
have a
yes.
cavalry saber. It's a +1 to charge, so that's all yours. You can have that.
Yeah,
it has
you got
5
it.
uses. I've never
and
used
now-
it because I don't ever want to get close to people.
And now that you have a Napoleon's undead horse, Chuck, this is now considered a loot item. So this goes on your inventory. You have 4 uses of horse, and you get a +1 to trample.
His job is just horse?
His job is just a horse. That's it.
Now, can we
That's
strap the tank to the horse? That's all I want to
Let me
know.
get more charges.
Incredible. Okay. Iryna, I would say that since you threw Chuck your cavalry saber, you are up next. What are you doing?
Great. Would you consider being on top of a tank elevated?
No.
No, okay.
We're
High
talking
off
like
the ground.
up in a building.
No, I
He's
know.
elevated.
Listen, I'm asking. I'm
Up on a bell tower.
I'm just trying to get a clear view of the battlefield, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know if this tank maybe hit the wall a bit and just went up. Like, who knows? It could be on the second story. Tanks are versatile.
Raise the gun.
Yeah, exactly. I pointed the gun straight up and I'm standing at the very tip. I'm going to pop my head out of the whatever you call the entrance to a tank.
Yes.
And I'm going to shoot at
The Einar Jar or the museum guards?
You said the museum guard have blood.
They do.
They
yes.
are bleedable. I'm gonna do the
They're
museum guard because I
bleedable,
love
yes.
that good blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled 2 successes.
Okay. I'm gonna use a usage of my rifle, but I don't get the plus to elevated.
Are you feeling elevated? Because elevated is an open term.
I
at this
always
point.
feel elevated. I'm just anxious to the core.
Iryna or Adam?
That's my secret cap.
Ah!
I don't need to answer that. I rolled 3 1s and a 5, so that's
Oh, no.
1 success.
Okay.
So my beautifully repaired hair. Oh no, actually I have to roll for it. Yeah, because I can't take away from this. I'm just gonna take away 1 success. Actually, fuck it. I'm gonna take 1. I'm gonna injure them.
Okay.
I'll
Sounds
take
good.
2
So you
wounds.
Drop that down. And what roll 1d6 twice, and then you can tell me what injuries you suffer.
As a. Oh no, it is okay. It's hair ruined. It's 3 or 4. For a second there, I thought it was the other one, and I was like, "Oh, that's bad." Again, a bullet's gonna shoot through my hair, and I'm gonna be like, "No, I just fixed this." As my hair gets ruined, and then
No.
and then oh fuck,
What happens to Iryna?
I rolled another 4. So as one bullet passes through my hair, the other one goes straight through my forehead. And as my head comes back, my eyes go red. The blood dribbles down my face. As I took a headshot, I get +2 to brawl and a -2 to con.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
So my
Con's
con is
off.
now 2 and my brawl is now 4.
On is off. Amazing. Okay, fantastic. Next, who is up next?
Nicole is going to take a firebomb at the museum guards.
Incredible. All right. I'm going to roll my attack here. That is another 2 successes.
Ooh, I have 6 successes.
Yeah, incredible. Okay. So there's no challenge rating there. You went for the museum guards?
Yes, I also have an ability, Sapper. When I use explosives, I reduce an objective or threats challenged by 1.
Yeah, amazing. So you actually, I would say you can clear both the Einerjar and the museum guards with this flamethrower blast at this point. So Nicole, how do you do this? Like, how do you go up with this flamethrower and just absolutely engulf all of these?
They've climbed out of the tank. They're on the top, and they just like they're like the calmest we've ever seen them, and they just take the pin out and like toss it nonchalantly as like a huge explosion just engulfs everything in its way.
Incredible. And all of the mummy bandages are extra flammable, so keep burning and burn
amazing.
your way through the rest of any of the enemies coming towards you. So your enemies are completed. You still have to smash through the rest of this museum, and there might be some things that you could find here. So if you do a good job smashing by the end of this round, hopefully you'll be able to find a couple things before reinforcements arrive. So your objective here is an objective level 8, smashed through the museum with a challenge rating of 1. So who's left to go? We've got Cosgrave, Flint, and Astrid, I think.
No more bad guys, just a smash through the museum.
Absolutely.
Well, classic. Let me, I think I'm just gonna have a little sneak. I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna huff some ghosts.
Yeah, huff
and
your
I'm
ghosts.
gonna, which, as we all know, allow me to pass through walls. And I will very quickly just start darting through this museum to try to find the most direct way through.
Incredible. Go for it.
What is that? That's 3, 6. Shkablow. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. The 4 successes.
Incredible. So you can clear 3 of the successes there. Cosgrave, as you run through these walls, you are kind of like having to push your way through old exhibits. And even though you are ethereal and pass through them, the instinct is always just like, oh, fuck, there's just so much stuff packed into the museum. And then you run into something solid. By the end of the time, your ghosts kind of run out of this usage, and you look in front of you and you say a still functional and improbably loaded cannon.
Oh.
You have 1 usage of that, and it's +3 to an immobile target.
Put it on the tank.
Put it on the
dude.
tank, dude. Like,
On the tank.
Put it on the tank.
Is that the end of my turn, or can I try to fix that to the tank?
I would say you can start rolling it back towards the
I
tank.
start rolling it back to my people.
Can we get it so
Okay.
that the tank shoots the cannon and then the cannon shoots in midair? I think that's
All right, so Flint and Astrid, you have 5 objective to clear with a challenge rating of 1.
Yeah. Flint would just jump up and start leaping from like cabinet to cabinet, just like pushing them down as like just with like wild abandon and joy.
Incredible. So you can use a brawl for that, I think.
Yeah. All right, so we got 4 brawl. Yo, that's 2 5s.
Okay, so you can clear 1 of those objectives there, which brings it down to 4 because it's still a challenge rating 1. Astrid, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Flint?
No.
Okay, sounds good. Astrid, what would you like to do?
Astrid is going to go pick up one of the. You said there were armored
Yes.
zombies, like just
Yes.
in suits of armor.
Yes.
Great. Is just gonna pick one up by the leg, and is going to just start going to town on every single exhibit.
I love
Just
this.
walking through the halls, smashing everything using this body as just a large metal club.
Incredible. Incredible. Do you get like a plus to improvised weapons? Because I only want to give you a plus to improvised weapons.
I don't. No, I don't. I was just figuring to use a good old brawl for that.
We love that. Go ahead. You can use a brawl there.
A 5. I got 1 success.
Okay, that does not unfortunately beat the challenge rating. So in the interest of time, I could bring another round of reinforcements, or I could just say you don't find the last thing in here, and that feels better to me. I'm sorry, you got the cannon. That's pretty good. There's one more thing
Yeah,
in here.
But
we
we
got
got
a
a smaller
cannon.
tank, so
You
we're
have
working on our egg doll set of cannons.
But
Yes,
also, like the
absolutely.
main campaign, dragon riding a dragon, we have a tank riding a tank. That's
Absolutely.
We
So,
do get that. We do put the cannon on the tank.
I would
tankception,
say
baby.
I would say
Yeah,
yes because
right.
I'm a cool DM. You can load the cannon on top of the tank. We'll
yeah.
see if it works, but you can load the cannon on top of the tank. All right.
Fuck yeah.
So you, so the concert hall is straight through. What would you like to do?
I mean, we go to the concert hall.
We
right?
gotta go to that concert hall.
We gotta go to the concert hall.
Incredible. So
We
you race.
Need some
through,
Wagner to kill Hitler.
You race through
Bum,
the
bum, bum, bum.
museum, and you come out on the other side through an arts district, and you see the concert hall. It looks like it was originally kind of festooned with beautiful, if gaudy, 17th century architectural design, but it has been changed to reflect the stark architecture of the hard-working German people. You see on the outside posters displaying a very handsome person, which says Franz Vogel, one-time show only, written in German on the marquee. And the door on the outside, at least, is not locked. So you go inside, and in the kind of like lobby area, you see a bunch of posters of Franz profiling new Nazi propaganda films. But you also see these dark black objects. They're curved. They look horn-like. You see these really long. At first, you think they're bones, but then upon further inspection, they look to be teeth littering the floor of this lobby. So horns and teeth on the floor of this lobby. The theater door is in front of you, and it seems to be heavily barred from the outside. So somebody barred the theater door, the one entrance to the theater door closed. You also hear the sound of a man growling and yelling for a line to be repeated, and he seems to be reciting a monologue. What would you like to do?
Can we see this gentleman?
No, you're in the lobby, and he looks to be in the theater, which is barred from the outside. It looks like he's been shut in.
All right, Astrid's gonna go up and take the bar away.
Yeah, amazing.
Barricade off the door, just launch it.
You pull the bar off, and the doors swing open. You run inside, and as you run through, the pictures of Franz Vogel trigger something. You're like, oh yeah, this guy is a popular movie star. In his first film, he starred as a detective named Dämonenblut. And you remember that his career then took an abrupt turn after a bunch of his co-stars and some potential amongst other film actors went missing. But it seems like the Reich has made those allegations go away in exchange for participating in the Übermensch program. So you see him on stage. He is pacing back and forth, and as he works through lines, he looks normal. Quite handsome. And then you see him fuck up a line, and he trips over a line in the middle of his monologue, and you start to see him change. You see these veins of black swell under his skin, up his neck, with some visible ichor leaking out of his mouth and his ears as he takes it and he wipes it to slick back his hair. You see the more that he starts fucking up these lines, the angrier he gets. And the angrier he gets, you see a set of horns begin to grow out from under his skin. His teeth start to distend, and claws rip their way through the opera gloves and patent dress shoes that he is wearing. He snarls around at you as you enter, and he lets out a screech. It seems like the Reich has been experimenting with implanting the heart of lesser demons in people, and something has gone terribly wrong. You remember that Henry Oswald had said that Hitler got bored and stopped liking his performances, so they shut him inside and stopped attending.
Darling, I find your disdain for staying on scripts inspiring.
And he just lets out this absolute piercing shriek. All right, so we are entered into another combat here. Our objective here is an objective level 4, purge the concert hall and destroy it. Dämonenblut, which is an Übermensch in front of you, is a threat level 12. He is a challenge rating of 1 because all good artists suffer for their art, and he's an attack level 4. And you see that likely the attack is going to come from claws, this toxic ichor that seems to be leaking out of him. His teeth just like move in patterns that are not how normal teeth work, and you see that
Very
he
chill.
starts to go to try and break off a horn to throw it at you. So what would you like to do? Let's go. Let's start off that combat.
Flint would like to screech right back.
Incredible.
And use my hellish screech. So use mark 2 blood to reduce the threat's difficulty by 1.
Wonderful. So that threat is down to 11.
And then Yeah, and then I would like to climb up the walls up into the rafters of the theater.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to descend and attack from there?
Yeah. I'll leap down, kind of like as I like come up from above. I then leap down straight at him from above.
Amazing. You could probably use your claws for that as well. So you can roll a brawl and add your claws to that.
Oh, I got it.
That's a 6 and a 5.
Incredible. So you have 3 successes there. You can knock down Demon and Blute's threat level by 2 since his challenge rating is 1. So you see as Flint kind of just like extends from the rafters and goes down, ripping his claws into, you see this like, it smells so bad, Flint, like even bad for you. This ichor starts to leak out of these punctured claw wounds as Demon and Blue throws you off of him, and you land on the stage but ready to go for your next action. Who is up next? Cosgrave, what would you like
I
to
got
do?
something real fun. Now, this guy's a demon. We wouldn't call him undead, correct?
He's not undead. He is a demon, yes.
All right. Well, I've got. I'm not generally the terrify type, but I happen to get a very exciting upgrade, called Memory Rot.
Oh no. What does it do?
Lock eyes with someone, and you can remove or implant memories.
Oh.
And I would love to make a terrify check. I'm gonna huff my bad ghost to give me a +2.
Yes,
and I would like to look this man in the eyes and just say, "You don't know any of your lines." And I want to give him the actor nightmare where he's here and he has to do the thing, but he can't do anything. Run away in shame. That's my
Incredible.
attempt.
Incredible. Roll your terrify.
Okay. We got some dice.
We got some dice.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to head up, and whoever is next is on deck.
No! That's really good. That's
You said, "Oh no," and I thought it was bad, but then it was just bad for me.
for him.
Bad for me.
That's going to be 7 successes.
Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
And because I've got Dead Man's Luck, for every 1 that I roll, which I got, I reduce the successful attack dice by 1.
Okay, so I will only roll 3 attack dice. So you've rolled 7, so a potential 6 that you could take to the threat here. And I roll 2 successes, so you can take this threat down by 4.
That sounds great.
You watch as
I'll take it down by 5. It's time that Cosgrave
Okay.
got a little dirty.
incredible. And what injury are you taking? Roll me a 1d6.
I lose some fingers.
Oh no! How many fingies do you lose?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how. Like, because I'm like, is it? I think there might be some reality where I'm trying to be so spooky it works, and as soon as he like maybe blinks, my guy trips,
Yes.
and like.
You necromance too hard and you lose
Yeah,
some of your own
dude.
fingies.
I'm too
Yeah.
scary.
You're too scary.
I
and you're
committed
too
to the
good at-
bit too hard.
You spent 5 minutes with Silent Gospel, London and Britain's first best necromancer, and now you are too good at your job. Yes, okay, incredible.
It happens.
It happens. Amazing. So the threat for Demon and Blood is now a threat level 4, still challenge rating of 1. Chuck, you are up next.
Yeah, Chuck's gonna use a horse. One horse.
Use 1 horse. Yep.
I'm gonna use a brawl, so that's 3, +1 for trample, because I
Yes.
storm on in, so that's 4.
You ride a horse down the theater stairs and you leap onto the stage to attempt to trample him. Yes, I love
And
that.
then I'm gonna use the saber in the left hand,
Yep,
and I believe that's a charge, so that's another +1, so that's
it absolutely
2.
is. Go
So
for
that's
it.
6. And then in the right hand, I'm gonna fire Maria,
Yes.
so that's 7.
Okay.
And then as I stab him and shoot him, I'm gonna spin around, use one of my spur charges, that's 8, and then plus another one because I'm on a horse, so that's 9.
Incredible. Yes, please. Absolutely Please go fuck.
Giannis has turned this into the game of how many dice can I accrue?
I
like
love
it.
this.
I
That's
think
what
that
it's in.
is the game by design.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's great.
so I
All
rolled.
right, all right.
I rolled 4 successes there. So technically, you're going to have to designate 5 of whatever you roll to start decreasing this threat.
All right. I rolled a 4, a 4, a 3, a 3, a 5, a 5, a 2, a 4, a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
All right, so you get 2 successes in on Demolitions.
How many did you roll?
I rolled 4 dice.
Yeah.
Didn't Cosgrave thing reduce that by 3? By 1?
Yes. I wasn't sure if that was for the whole round. There we go. And I rolled 3 successes. This
3
time.
successes.
So,
So I take 1 down for the challenge rating, and then I'll take one of those damages. So I do 4. So I'm going to reduce his threat to 0.
you clear the threat.
Yeah, dude.
Fantastic. Well done.
But let me
And
see
what
what
injury do you get?
Let's take a look. This will be interesting. Uh, 3. Yeah, limping. I think as I
toes.
hit him. Well, no, I think as I hit him with my spur, it's sort of like you watch as he like dislocates his knee.
Oh.
And like just like it bends at the wrong angle as the spur gets
Yeah.
stuck as he spins off the horse and he lands and he kind of like pops it back, but now he's got a bit of a limp.
Spurs too sharp. You got
Spurs
a little bit
too
too
sharp.
stuck. Incredible. Okay, so we have got. Do you you have the opportunity here, if anyone wants to feed on Damone and Blunt as
Yes,
well?
please.
Yes, please.
I will
Yes.
say you're gonna have to mark successes to do that before the object. You know what? Yeah. Okay. You can. Yeah. I will say everyone can get 1 blood from Damone and Blunt.
So-
And we have
as-
one still from the witch, right?
You had 1 from Rust Witch, and if any of you fed from Stalstoldat, you have 1 from there as well. You can rack up some trophies. And as you drink from Damone and Blut, his blood tastes like chicken fat with a cigar stubbed out in it.
Nice. I actually like that.
So
Do
smoky
you?
and fatty.
Yeah, smoky and fatty. Come on, that's good. Cigars are lovely. Chicken fat is great.
So you
Sorry, am I
have
supposed to not like that?
I don't know.
Chuck
don't
eats
live,
people for
dude.
a living, y'all. So you have an objective level 4 now, which is purge and destroy the rest of the concert hall. So for those of you who have not acted, what would you like to do?
This guy for sure had a bunch of expensive alcohol just at the ready, right?
Yes, it was
Just
on a
like-
cart on stage. Yes,
Absolutely. Just in an absolute just every time he would fuck up, drinking more and more and more.
100%.
Astrid is going to smash every single bottle. She's going to start throwing them just randomly around the place, cover
Incredible.
the stage in alcohol,
Yes.
and is going to be Nicole, I think this is a job for you, actually.
Nicole joins in, and
okay, I'll get you to. You can roll for your flamethrower then, and Astrid, you can roll for your brawl if you want to see how hard you smash
Right.
the bottles and how far you get this alcohol.
Yeah, why not? As a 6, 2 successes.
Amazing. So you reduce the objective down to 2. So Nicole, it is only a level 2 objective with this flamethrower, and you can roll shoot
Great.
that there.
We also have a tank.
You also have a tank
And a
to drive-
cannon.
and drive it through the walls.
A tank.
I have a 3 success.
Incredible. So the 2 of you make quick work lighting up the concert hall, and you realize that the fire is going to spread very quickly. There is likely some silver nitrate film somewhere here, so you should probably leave before stuff goes up very, very quick. So you start racing your way out of the theater. Oh, go ahead,
Or,
Iryna.
as everyone is like doing this, you would cut to Iryna sitting in the opera box, smoking their dead man's, their hanged man cigarette, being like, "Marvelous, darlings, this is very entertaining." So I'm
Wonderful.
gonna mark off a use of that and get 2 blood.
Sounds good. So who is holding the radio at this point?
I think that was Chuck.
Chuck,
gotta be Chuck.
fantastic. So as you folks are sprinting out of the building back towards your tank, you get a call from Officer Prince on the radio. Looks like we've got a unprompted garden party as you approach the Eiffel Tower. If you can blitz that party, you'll have a straight shot right at the tower. Let's route you that
Perfect.
way. And we are going to take our break there.
Okay.
So well done on your first Ubermensch in this half. We've got a lot to go. So sit tight, folks at home. Grab yourself a blood bag and a quick, maybe human-ish related snack. And we will be back in like 8 minutes or so. Okay. Bye, friends.
Bye.
This is our final move. You are the Allies' last hope. The Nazis won't go down without a fight. You have one mission. Drink all of Hitler's blood. Give 'em hell.
All right, my incredible voracious vampires. You just receiving word after clearing through the concert hall that it looks like there is an impromptu garden party on the way towards the Eiffel Tower. It's going to take you, do you drive there in your tank?
Drive through the garden party, shoot it with both cannons. Let's blow this puppy.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Even want to stop. Nicole, flamethrowers for anybody we missed with the first two.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
So you roll down the streets towards the Eiffel Tower. You see it in the distance, and you end up at the edge of what looks like a rather large garden party in the middle of the city. It looks like a bunch of Nazi elite have gathered here to celebrate an upcoming victory of the Reich upon the release of the Übermensch program. Apparently, you can only tend so many celebratory galas in the Eiffel Tower before you get tired of cramming into well-appointed observation chambers and waiting in line for your turn to the elevator. Do we have that metal music going in the background?
To the victory of the Third Reich. Wait, is that
Yes.
a tank coming down the road? Are we expecting a tank? Is that...
The run up to the tower has been remade into a pleasure gardens intended by use of Nazi officers and for ceremonial occasions. They are cunningly designed by some of the Reich's foremost landscape engineers. The gardens recreate a pastoral Austrian scene in the middle of Paris. Unfortunately for the Nazis, there's a bunch of winding pathways, a thick copses of trees, and charming ersatz waterfalls that provide cover for you if you decided not to roll through with your tank. But unfortunately for
This
you,
garden, dude.
they also
This
provide
garden.
excellent cover for snipers. You arrive and the party is in full swing. There are huge tables of meat and bread and beer lining this faux village square, and the upper echelons of the Nazi elite look to be quite enjoying themselves. They're either too drunk or too confident to think that anything could uproot their plans. So they're my voracious vampires. It is time to set things straight with your tank. You are going to roll straight up. Your objective here is blitzkrieg this party, which is a level 8 objective. You have a
We're
bunch,
there.
Yes, you have a bunch of carousing kind of drunk officers who are going for their pistols. They are a threat level 6 with an attack rating of 3. And you also hear the pop, pop, pop of sniper rifles as you have there's just one sniper team at this point, which is a threat level 3, attack rating of 6 with a challenge rating of 2 because they are well hidden and are firing now on your tank. What would you like to do?
I would absolutely love to. I think Astrid, being the sort of the muscle, is probably holding this cannon.
You absolutely
to
are.
the tank
Yes.
on the outside of the tank.
Mhm.
So I would love to
To fire the cannon will be a shoot.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, I was looking for this ability. Blood hunt. I'd love to mark one of my blood.
Yes. Consider it marked.
To find these snipers as I aim the cannon in their direction.
Yeah, knowing that the snipers likely have to remain quite stationary to get their shots off, I will say that this is an immovable target. I'll let you have that.
Yeah.
So you can add +3 to this one. You have one use of this cannon, and that is it. So you can fire a shoot, and you have +4 from the cannon all up.
Shoot and +4, and that's I have a shoot 2, but that is going to be 6 dice all together.
And what does Blood Hunt give you?
Blood hunt lets me it allows me to track targets.
But is it a
or
marked
search
blood
for.
ability? Because it adds in an extra die.
Oh yeah, it is a marked blood ability.
Yeah, so that gives you an extra die.
And so I am rolling here
Oh,
with
cool.
an attack level 6 on the snipers as they see you train the cannon towards them.
I got 3 6s.
You got 3 6s.
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
And I will tell you what I rolled. I rolled
Uh-oh.
a 3, a 2, a 1, a 1, a 1, and a 1. So
Wow.
I rolled no successes on my end. So
6.
you
They weren't
can
expecting a
Great.
tank.
I would love to. As
clear
I
this
hear
sniper
like
team. You can clear it entirely.
as I hear the shots coming from, I'm assuming a nearby tower.
Yes.
Just Astrid just sniffs the air,
Mhm.
smells the sweat off these snipers. The last thing they see down their scope is just Astrid picking up a cannon and aiming it at them as the fucking cannonball comes right at their face down the scope, and just like a watermelon just
Incredible.
explodes
I
into
imagine
people.
because it's like one of those old like French cannons.
Yeah,
It's like ignite it, and then Astrid throws the cannon into the air.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So you absolutely end the implosion or the explosion of the cannonball hitting the snipers also damages the fellow snipers around. So you have completely cleared this sniper team. You also have 1 extra success. You can designate that towards blitzkrieging the garden party if you like to. You can mark a blood, or you can use this towards the carousing drunk officers. What would you like to do there?
Oh, I would absolutely love to. As I'm done with this cannon, as it is now no longer functional,
Yes.
just take like a spinning shot put like
Yeah.
throw, and I'm just gonna throw it at the drunken officer. So I want it to tumble and just crush as many of them as I can.
Incredible. I'm just going to
Great.
say for fun, just roll a brawl there and see what we get here. And
Thank
I'm
you.
going to,
Thank
they
you so
start
much.
firing you as they do this. That is 1 success there.
Yeah,
So you'll
I
have to
got
clear.
2 5s.
Yeah, amazing. So you clear the carousing drunk officers down by 2. Well done. Well done.
So
Who's
much.
next?
Flint would just go full on ravenous and just like start just like claws out, crawling over the table, just grabbing officers as I go, and just like slamming them down on the table and just going to town with my teeth as like just one after the other.
Amazing. So you're doing a brawl there, and you've got melee combat, so you're gaining ravenous. And so I'm going to roll 3 as these drunk officers attempt to shoot at you. And that is just 1 success.
That's 4 and 2 6s.
So that's 5 successes. All right, so you completely clear through these drunk, carousing officers, and you have 2 other successes to play with towards blitzkrieging the garden party. So please tell me how you eviscerate these officers, and then also turn your attention on the rest of the garden party.
I'm literally like grabbing them by the neck and biting their heads off as I'm going. And then at like the weight of this is just crushing the tables behind me.
Amazing. So you're making quick work of the meat and bread is now blood-soaked and all on the ground, and everyone is sad about the food being down and the people being dead.
The meat and bread.
Oh, 9.
A travesty.
Who is next?
We're blitzkrieging this party, or do we still
Yes.
have living people around?
There is no living people around. Blitzkrieg, the
Sorry.
party is now a level 5.
Do we still have tank use?
Yeah, you can fire a tank to destroy the Austrian pleasure gardens here. Absolutely. You
I
can.
think I just want to drive real serpentine through most
Yeah.
of it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of the vibe.
Incredible. Incredible.
And are there
Yeah,
any
like-
little gazebos to count
Yes.
towards smashing through buildings?
Yeah, I would say that these are all at least replica buildings. The word buildings is in there, so yeah,
Great.
this can count as smashing through buildings.
I'm gonna take
So it's an
Speed up
extra
rings.
die.
an amount of die here.
I would say you can roll this as this is car driving related, so I suppose
This is
you can roll a
fixed.
fix. Yes.
I'm all fixed up. Yeah, fuck yeah, baby. That's exactly 6 successes.
Hell
Wait,
yeah.
shit. 2, 4, 5. 5.
Cosgrave
5.
Tokyo drifting through the gardens.
Absolutely.
in a tank.
And I think the tank breaks. I think that's the last use of it.
That is
So
the last use of your
and the
tank.
fucking whatever jerry rig we figured out falls off, and
Incredible.
What a way to go out.
What a way to go out. So your tank almost flips and roll over, and Cosgrave, you I'm going to say that you didn't need to use a huff of your ghost for this, but you using the last little remnants of your ghost just kind of drift through and out and step through as the tank just rolls behind
Picking up a
you.
fucking sherry on the way.
Yes, absolutely.
Not looking at the explosion.
Incredible.
But a little
You've
too
got some-
conspicuously
you've got
not
some
looking at it. You know
You've
what
got
I mean?
some schnapps there for you, and it's delicious.
Iryna
so
steps out of the exploded tank because they were still in the back,
they
just
were
on fire.
and upset about their tank. Oh no.
Walk
One
forward.
head wound.
Let's go kill Hitler.
So you leave the gardens and you look up for a second, and you cannot help but notice the almost entirely full moon hanging ominously in the sky, and you hear this terrible howl rip over top of the city. Ahead of you, you see corpses of mutilated, dead Nazi soldiers that you and what seems like the Allies are not responsible for, as you make your way over to the Eiffel Tower. So you approach the Eiffel Tower, built to celebrate the 1889 Paris World Fair. It's one of the most enduring symbols of Paris and France in general. Upon the Nazi conquest of the city, the structure was retrofitted with the latest German technology, elevators that rocket up the structure, dazzling electric lights that blaze out into the night air, and a rudimentary communications aerial that has been supplanted with a high-bandwidth broadcast technology. Also, there's a Zeppelin attached to the top containing Adolf Hitler, a cadre of vampire hunters, and the world's first Nazi werewolf. You have two objectives here. The first is ascend the Eiffel Tower. Objective level 8, challenge rating 1. Your optional secondary objective is to activate the death drop discs that Abjuris Adelaide gave you at Checkpoint Charlie. You put one at each of the bottom. They require a sneak success on each one. And if you fail the sneak success, they must be completed in full before you complete the primary objective. So if you choose to do the secondary objective, you have to complete those fully before you do the primary objective. Otherwise, they're just not going to work. You're going to climb the tower, and if you fall and you die. So
What was the challenge rating on the discs?
the challenge rating is it's an objective level 4, no challenge rating. It's just only can be sneak checks. Because you have to like surreptitiously put the disc at the base and activate it. And as you approach, you hear the screams of the Nazi elite from the party behind you that are dying. And you hear a bunch of Nazi partygoers on the Eiffel Tower also screaming, as there's a group of paratroopers who are heading down to greet you, landing on the top and sides of the tower as you ascend. They are dropping from planes to engage the vampire menaces that attack their beloved Führer Zeppelin. So the paratrooper squad here is a threat level 6 and attack rating 3. And they have something called rapid deployment. If another paratrooper group arrives before the end of the round, before you have completed anything, the threat rating of the next one goes up by 2. So we are starting by 2. So things are starting to get hard.
Damn.
So, all right. Who is off first here? Iryna, you walked out of the tank. What are you doing as you approach the tower?
Yeah, on fire, looking not super happy. I'm going to whip out my exquisite hunting rifle. I'm going to take some shots at these parachute troopers.
Incredible. I'm going to roll as they open fire on you as well.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
That is 3 successes for me.
I got 4 successes, so I'll cancel those 3 and mark one of theirs as I just kind of start shooting. Ooh. And I specifically am not shooting at them. I'm severing their parachutes.
Parachutes. Amazing.
I'm just like intentionally not shooting them. I'm shooting their like parachute cords.
Yeah, you see about 12 of these. You see 12 of these paratroopers start to drop, and you with your there's the shots ring out across this high. You sever at least 2 of them as you go through. Who's up next?
Ooh, I got it.
Yes.
I would love to. How many paratroopers we got? We got a lot of paratroopers.
It's a threat level 5 at this point.
Yeah, I would love to mark blood for Phantasmagorica, my favorite thing, which is I'd love to conjure illusions in the area immediately around you. I would love to conjure illusions of the Eiffel Tower, places to land that aren't actually there. So like these guys are like, oh, that's a perfect place to land and shoot people. It doesn't exist.
Amazing. So you
Which
can,
I guess would be, I feel like that's a con check,
that is,
no?
Yeah, I would call that a con check, and you get +2 there because it incorporates the background in a clever way. So you get 1 for the Phantasmagoria, you get 1 for the incorporates the background in a way, and then roll con to see what you do here. As they open fire on you,
Oh boy.
that is 2 successes for me.
I got 3. I'll use a back pocket hex to
Okay.
reduce that success by 1. So 2 successes against them. Fuck you.
Amazing. So
Fuck
you've
you.
dropped the threat level of these paratroopers down to 3 before, and so we've got threat level 3 for the paratroopers, full objective level 8, challenge rating 1 for the Ascend the Eiffel Tower, and then the death drop discs if you feel like you need them. All right, who is up next?
Chuck will storm on in on his last charge of his horse. I don't think the horse can be much good once we get in the Eiffel Tower.
You never had a horse in an elevator? It's kind of lit.
I was just thinking about the fucking horses. Ding, just waiting.
With the
On a
sword.
horse.
So I'll burn all 3 horse charges.
Yeah. Do you burn the
Um,
horse or do you just burn the charges? Is my
I
question.
think the horse is on fire.
I love this. Yes.
Um,
An undead on fire horse.
So brawl is 3, and I'll burn all 4 charges of the saber.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So that's
As the
10,
paratroopers start to land down. on
11 for the
ground
charge, 12 for the trample. We'll do a shot. 13.
Giannis has found a new way to play this game.
Yeah, truly.
I love
Horse
it.
style.
I've been like,
Keeps the combat
I've been
snappy.
I thought we were doing
saving
one
up
thing
for
a
the
thing, yeah.
final fight, and I was like, I figured out how to get the most amount of dice out of anything, and Giannis just beat it. Giannis just beat the amount of dice that I've been pooling together. I'm like, I'm gonna do this crazy big thing. Fucking
I love
Giannis,
it.
so good at finding
10.
dice.
Those 2
Oh,
successes.
it only lets me,
Grabbling
lets me
them
roll
dice.
10 at a time. My dice roller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, and I gotta roll 3 more. Nine successes.
Holy shit. Okay, so you can clear these paratroopers off the board entirely as they land around you, falling through Cosgrove's back pocket. Hex and Phantasmagoria, you see they start to hit the ground, and you, with your flaming undead horse and your cavalry saber, run over them and just eviscerate the rest of these paratroopers on the ground. That was only 3 successes. How would you like to designate the other 6 successes? Would that be towards ascending the Eiffel Tower? Like, would you? How are you gonna like? How do you help facilitate ascending the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah,
at
you know
this
what I'll
point?
do just to make it interesting.
Yeah, make it interesting.
Is
You
I'm gonna
make it
mark. I'm
interesting.
gonna mark
Now's
a
the
blood.
time.
Go
mark
off,
a blood.
King.
Just mark a blood just for fun. Basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark a blood. I'm gonna take my spider's curry,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna just ride this flaming horse up the side of the Eiffel Tower, and I'm gonna start like picking them off and slashing them as they're coming
Yeah.
past me on the
I
way
absolutely
down.
love this for you.
And then I'll just ride the horse up the side of the the Eiffel Tower to the first floor.
Amazing. So it is a challenge rating of 1. So your ascend the Eiffel Tower in here is now to an objective level 5. And because you've started ascending the Eiffel Tower, your death drop discs are no longer able to be up in place.
Just gonna go do that.
So you've got someone already up there
Ah,
already. It
fuck.
does not work. So
It was just sauce. It was just sauce. Em.
Just sauce.
this
I
whole
just
game is
sauce.
sauce.
Well, you
as he's
sauced it
killing
up,
them,
man.
Can I be flying to do this before?
Because that's suffering from success, you know.
I was
I-
just adding spice. I burnt the blood for no reason. Just to
I
add
would
spice.
say because I'm a nice and cool DM. If you can
Such a cool
roll-
DM.
Are you? If Flint can roll 4 sneak in one go, you can do this all yourself. And yes, other than that, it's not going to work.
Flint is like,
Oh,
as
come on,
he's doing
Flint.
this, he's gonna like sense heartbeat because I want to see if there's anybody around the bottom
Okay.
to make sure as I'm sneaking through. So I'm gonna mark a blood for that, and then I would I would kind of fly up around the kind of large base as I'm doing
Yes.
it. Do you think that would count as dense cover? Because the Eiffel Tower is metal, actually. So like,
Yeah, I'll give
Pretty
it to
dense.
It's a dense material.
you. It is a dense material. You
Canonically.
need 4 successes here, otherwise the death drop discs do not activate.
You just need 4. It's easy.
2 6s.
Let's
Incredible.
Yes.
So Flint, like an absolute ghost in the night, just fully is just like zooming around, and you use one of your big claws to just like poke the ward or the rune in the center, and they activate, and your death drop discs are in place. So if something causes you to fall from the tower, then you're not going to hit the ground and die. Consider it the equivalent of like a feather ball spell.
I would finish by grabbing onto the bottom of one of the elevators.
Amazing. Okay, so that is your death drop discs completed. You still have, who is left to go in this round?
Me.
Amazing. All right. So if you have to clear 6 successes here, otherwise another troop of paratroopers might show up.
I
Has
had
Astrid
6.
gone?
Didn't I have 6
Oh, and
left?
Astrid has to go as well.
Yeah, and Chuck had 6
I had
successes
6,
left
and it
over.
was 8, right? So
Okay,
would
so
they be
it's
down
down
to
to
3?
Down to 3. That's correct. My apologies. So yeah, I think it's Astrid and
Cool.
Nicole have to go, and essentially you need 4 successes between the two of you.
Sweet.
My apologies. Math
All
is hard.
right.
It is.
It is hard.
There's many a dice
Yeah.
and many a success,
So
and y'all are
many.
stacking dice now.
So many dice.
Many dice.
Oh yeah, Nicole's gonna I'm gonna take out one of Siobhan's cigarettes and attempt to scale power. We have 1 success.
Okay, so with 1 success, you manage to get yourself on to the tower, but you're not able to do any more ascending, and you're like waiting there for your friends to be able to help you up, but you haven't been able to knock any of the objectives down at this point, just meeting that challenge rating there. Astrid, I need essentially 4 successes here. Otherwise, another group of paratroopers will show up. What would you like to do?
Fuck.
That's
And
a really
the-
good question.
If the paratroopers land, their threat rating will be increased because of the rules of their rapid deployment.
Oh boy.
Okay. Is there an elevator?
Yes, there is.
Wonderful. I would like to. Astrid is going to go over to the elevator, take the big cross off of her back,
Yes.
and fucking jam it in there, and just crowbar the elevator open.
Incredible.
Don't care if there's a
Fantastic.
lock or anything. I'm just gonna wrench this thing open.
Fantastic. Go for it.
Thank you
The
so
door
much.
can't close anymore, so you just have to ascend.
Yeah, it
I
just
would
has
say,
to,
I would
has to
say
go
if
up.
you're swinging for it, I will allow you the dice for swing for the fences with it, if you want.
I would love that. What is
Go
the?
for it.
plus
I think
to
it's a
that again?
plus. It's a plus. What did I give you for that?
I lost my notes unfortunately from the
That is
session.
100% okay. Let me find it here. It's a cross that you got from St. Medard Church. So you have got. Oh my God, that's on like.
Probably a +1 for swing for the fences.
It is a +2 for swing for the fences.
Ooh.
Wonderful. I would love to do that. Thank you so much.
It's cool. It's just on page 10 of my 40-page notes document. It's fine.
Seems pretty chill.
Yeah,
Super
right.
chill.
Like quarter of the
Thank
way
you for
through.
giving me this special clothing.
You're welcome.
You. Okay. I got 6, 5, 5, 1, 2.
Okay, so that's
Four.
4 successes.
Yes.
And I think that does it. With that, you break the glass. The door moves open. Nicole, you're able to swing yourself inside. Chuck, you ride your undead horse that it just burns off into the night as you land on the top floor of the Eiffel Tower.
Astrid
So-
does look a bit disappointed as she has to take the elevator.
And
Just
wait.
standing there, just as I watch Chuck ride up on a flaming horse.
Incredible.
Yeah, exactly. A little.
1940s equivalent of Muzak. It's just like a little and it just plays in a little accordion. So as you scale the tower and you land onto the top floor, you manage to move your way onto the Zeppelin, navigating the gangplank. In one word, the Zeppelin is sumptuous. In another word, it's airborne. This repurposed dirigible has been outfitted with marble, silk, gold, and mahogany. Grand staircases lead onto a mezzanine levels that are outfitted with Hitler's own paintings, all of them without any form of artistic merit, and treasures plundered throughout Europe, North Africa, Tibet, and Nepal. The crucial element of the Zeppelin, where you will find Hitler and his latest monstrous Ubermensch, is the broadcast suite towards the front of the vehicle. However, as you enter into this main area inside the Zeppelin, you see a group of 5 oath-sworn hunters carrying blessed bullets, holy water sprayers, sharpened stakes, and firebombs. You have met the Vampirjäger cadre, and apparently Hitler was trying to be prepared. So, these wonderful vampire, holy fighters look towards you. They are a threat level 8 with an attack level 6. No challenge, but they are hearty. Who's up first?
Nicole is I'm going to mark blood, and I'm going to, Nicole's eyes go black, and I force, darkness over the whole area, ambushing them. And then I'm going to take out my my machine gun.
Yeah, amazing.
And rolling 8 die.
All right, I am going to roll 6 here to oppose you. Okay, 2.
I have 11 success.
Okay. I have 4 successes there, so you have 7 successes. Holy crap.
Is that just
so
them dead?
No, it's down to
there's
1
one
left.
left.
So
Fuck,
Nicole
fucking hell,
plunges
dude.
this area into darkness.
Unless if you want to take an injury, just kill him outright.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Incredible.
Fuck yeah.
Just like everything goes black.
Yeah, everything goes
And
black.
I'm just dazed.
The
just one.
only thing that you can see is the light from one of Siobhan's menthols. I'll say that you don't have to burn it, but you're still smoking that one cigarette. And it's dark, and you just hear a rapid fire machine gun as Nicole just sprays backward and forward. One Vampirjäger manages to spray a little bit of holy water you. It burns you and kind of dazes you a little bit, but they are toast. Nicole has one-shotted the
let's
Vampirjäger.
go.
Holy
Fuck
shit,
yeah.
let's fucking go.
Marvelous
All right.
work. That was wonderful to watch. Well,
Okay.
not watch, but hear.
So the
Fucking
darkness fades as you make your way forward, barreling through the rest of the Zeppelin and bursting your way into the broadcast suite. An elaborate set has been constructed to give the impression of power and superiority. You see banners that hang from every wall, an iron and basalt lectern stand atop a staircase, and, in direct opposition to the Zeppelin operational safety guidelines, you see a roaring fire pit that occupies the center of the chamber. Hitler has been awaiting the arrival of the invaders with anticipation, but he's confident that he has his ace in the hole. This werewolf that we keep mentioning. You burst in just in time to see the Führer himself, his eyes absolutely wild as he drops his dinner plate of potatoes and broth, flips a switch, and you hear the broadcast begin. His intention seems to be to broadcast what he assumes to be your imminent demise live to every receiver in Europe, which there are only a few in 1943, but it's enough to make a point. If you nullify this on camera, it is as good as winning the war outright. While you know that Hitler likely poses no threat to you because he's weaker than the average German soldier and hopped up on so many fucking amphetamines he could barely shoot straight, there is this latest advancement in Nazi occultism research, which is a full-blown lycanthrope. You see an unassuming man standing in front of you, naked as the day he was born, and he smiles as he places a hand on what looks to be a ray of moonlight reflected through a magnifying glass. As he touches it, he begins to transform into this huge werewolf, almost double your size. Multiple infusions of cursed wolf blood and implanted wolf canine teeth in his spinal column have given this unassuming soldier the ability to transform into an absolute abomination with impossible strength. So this is the Werehund. This is your final battle here in the broadcast suite. So now it's time for all the marbles. The Werehund is a objective level 15. Killing the Werehund is a threat level 15, an attack level 5, and a challenge rating of 2.
I would love to get this one.
I'd like to go first if possible. I've been
great.
saving my pool for this whole time for this one thing.
15 threat, attack 3.
No, 5.
And what was the objective rating?
Objective rating is 15.
Oh,
Attack
threat
rating
and objective is 15.
Challenge.
Yeah, threat, like the objective is kill the werehund, which is a threat 15.
Oh, okay. Yes,
The
yes.
attack level's 5, the challenge rating is 2. It also has rending claws, so when you mark an injury from the werehund, you check off all available boxes in that section, not just the highest one.
No.
And regeneration
Ouchie,
is
ouchie.
in place. The challenge rating cannot be lowered by any means, as
Ah,
the werehund
fuck.
is able to regenerate.
It's one of my main things.
Ah,
That's in the book. That's in the book. I
No,
didn't just
I
do
know,
that.
I know,
That's what's in the
I know.
book. All right, who's kicking it off?
Iryna.
I would, as this naked dude starts turning into a werewolf,
Yeah,
Iryna,
absolutely.
still a little bit on fire from the tank, is going to grin. I'm going to spend 5 blood.
Okay.
As I use... Oh, I only need to spend 4 because I don't need to use Hell's Ravenous Fire.
Okay.
Because that allows me to ignore the challenge on my next action against the threat. So that sucks. But I'm going to use it anyway because fuck it. The Hell's Ravenous Fire ignites with the rest of the tank. And I also am going to assume the mantle of the Fell Beast as Iryna starts ripping free this ruined suit and muscles start bulging and their talons start growing long and they're going to grab both explosive runes in their hand and run forward. Mantle of the Fell Beast, Brawl and Terrify become 4, which makes my Brawl 6 because I've got a +2 from my headshot.
Hell yes.
But all my other stats are set to 1. And then I'm gonna like bound forward and slam the runes on either side of his head. And I have managed with both runes. As I the other 2 blood that I'm using as I transform, the like sheer terror of what I've turned into is dark glamour. And I feel like the Eiffel Tower is a very beautiful surrounding.
And I would argue the Zeppelin is pretty beautiful
Yeah,
as well.
so I'm gonna
Opulent
Dark
body,
Glamour,
but beautiful
and I'm gonna
sound.
Knight's Willing Servants as a bunch of bats up into the
Yeah.
Zeppelin, and I'm
Fucking
gonna roll
blow it off.
14d6.
All right.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, baby. Dude, like I said, I was like, I'm pooling all of my resources for one big throw.
Yeah.
Take
All
it.
Ah.
I rolled 6 successes.
I
and
rolled
your
4
challenge rating of
6s,
2. So you're gonna have to clear 8 successes before you can do any damage to the werehund.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another 6. Fuck. Okay. 6, 2, 4. No. 6, 8, 10, 12.
What do you got?
15 successes total.
All right, so you knock. That is down by 8. So you watch as Iryna just erupts with firing everything he can at this werehund, and absolutely just starts tearing into it, beast on beast. At this point, as you essentially knock the werehund down in half. So down to a threat rating, I believe, of 8. I think is what's left.
Wow.
Yes, 8.
And that's me, gang.
Incredible.
I've spent it all.
Way to go.
All right, incredible. Who is up next?
So, as I would like to go next, but as a clarification, I do have an ability, Apex Predator, reduce a threat's rating by 3. Was that the thing that we can't reduce?
No,
Challenge.
it's the challenge rating. So you can reduce the threat rating by 3 if you like. Yes.
Great, I would love to do that. So, as the elevator gets out, you see Iryna go absolutely fully insane, inspired by that Astrid. You see just wind kick up around her, and in this wind, in this dust, you see faces. You see the faces of these like tormented souls, some human, some animal, in this tornado surrounding Astrid. She's going to go with the direction of these spirits, start spinning using this giant cross on her back. Now slinging it forward, going to play one of her favorite games, which is, can she reach the target before the object she threw can? I'm going to mark a blood for Spirit Storm. Hurl items like a poltergeist plus 2, something sharp and heavy.
Yes.
which I imagine the cross would be
Yeah,
somewhat
absolutely.
sharp
I
and
feel like
heavy.
you bashed it in an elevator. Part of it broke off. Now it's sharp. Go for it.
Now it's sharp and heavy, and as you see, as the cross connects with this werewolf, you see from behind it leaping into the air an Astrid, fully muscled up, using Apex Predator to reduce the threat's rating by 3, coming down with brass knuckles, also wrapped in chains,
Let's
spirit
fucking
fetters,
go.
as I'm
Let's
going to go
fucking go.
pow right in the kisser and use my spirit fetters, which is a +3 against animals.
Hell yeah.
dude.
Fucking nuke this werewolf. dude.
Nuke the
I would
wolf.
love to nuke
If
the wolf.
Astrid kills his wolf, can Iryna and Astrid do the predator handshake at the end?
Love
Fully
to.
muscled up.
Okay, I have 3 from Spirit Storm. I have 4 from Spirit Fetters. So that's 7. I have 3 from Brawl.
10.
That's 10. And then the brass knuckles, pow right in the kisser.
Is another 3.
Is it was it +2 for the pow right in the kisser?
Yeah, 2 and then
Yes.
1 for just the
So
knuckles. So another 3.
13 dice total.
Hell
Mhm.
yeah. Let's fucking
Right.
So I physically have 5, so you need to roll is in batches. Okay, so that's 3 successes for the first batch.
All right.
That is 2 successes for the second batch,
Mm-hmm.
and then another 1 success.
So 6 total.
6 total.
Yes,
go. Okay, I have 5 successes on my dice.
and those are attacks.
Mhm.
This is my attack
I would love-
5.
Remember, any damage you take, you have to mark off both categories.
Well, I would love to use my unnatural endurance as well and reduce the GM's attack dice by 3.
So that's
Oh.
nothing. I am
Oh.
absolutely nothing this round. So how many? So the challenge rating is
6
2.
successes.
So you are able to.
It's down to 1.
Oh my god.
It's down
It's-
to 1.
Astrid becomes a
No, it was-
storm.
It was 6. It was 6 successes, and he
Challenge rating
managed.
is 2.
So
2.
There
4.
was 5 left on the werehand.
There
Oh,
was,
There was
okay.
8 left on the
I'll
werehand
go
with the
one.
3 down. Yeah, so it's 1
down
left.
to
Yeah.
No. It was 6 successes. The challenge rating of 2, so he has 4 to play with.
Yeah.
And it's 8 was left, so there's 4 left.
No, but the
But
3 he
used-
reduced it with. They reduced it with
used-
Apex Predator.
Is it?
Yeah, they
Is it
used-
to the attack or
No,
to
the
the threat?
To the threat.
And then endurance did it to the attack.
Okay.
Yeah, and they
Astrid's
just-
all about
We
reducing
got
shit.
it. We got it. So, Astrid, Cody, what like a beautiful narration of what you just did. Astrid becomes this tempest inside the Zeppelin, and generally you're not supposed to fly a Zeppelin in a storm, and you certainly shouldn't have one inside it. It is the whole Zeppelin shakes as Astrid, you barrel forward, and you watch as Iryna is pushed back by the werehund in their parry. You just leap onto it, and it is as if you can smell the ozone, you can smell the fresh blood, you can smell the forest, and everything as you just absolutely dig in and eviscerate. You roar louder than the werehund can in its face, and you hear a small whoop, a little bit of a whimper, as it is there on its last legs. Check.
Oh.
Or a Cosgrave.
Oh.
No, you go ahead. You got there first.
All right.
Well, I will say there is a caveat in here that was built in, is that when the werehund becomes at its very low level, or like low threat rating, Hitler starts to look panicked and is going to call in an infantry squad, just like a group of personal guards, as he attempts to make a break for it into the panic room. So you have an infantry squad right there. It's pretty simple. You guys should be just fine. It's a threat level 6 and attack level 3. So they open fire to cover Hitler's snotty, sniveling retreat.
Ugh.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna. You'll see Chuck marks blood and shoots out his tongue, wraps it around the werewolf, and then I'm gonna charge in, firing the last 2 bullets in Betsy and Maria, and then I believe I get an extra dice because it uses the item, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then get the spur. Even though I'm not on a horse, I'll still mark the last spur.
How do you incorporate your spur in this?
I think because it's like the last time, it's like barely hanging on, and I think he kind of like kicks, and the spur comes loose.
Nice.
And
it
fires it almost like a throwing star.
Incredible.
And then 2 fires, and it shoot 3, so it's a total of 9 dice.
Fuck yeah.
Incredible. I rolled 5 successes.
Perfect.
So you're gonna have to clear 7 to get rid of this last one.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. How many did you get?
I rolled 5 successes plus the challenge rating of 2.
All right, so I'll take the challenge down to 3, and you rolled 5. So I'll take whatever I need to finish him. So what's that? 2?
2 injuries. However, whatever columns you roll, you are rolling those mark off both of the injuries in those columns.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. Great, go for it. Show me your injuries.
Fives.
What you got?
All right. Give me a sec here.
Each injury is just you lose another toe.
So there's no
All
more
right,
toes.
so the first one
No toes allowed. No free feet.
is a
No
s-
free feet.
Oh,
is a
just looks like scuba fins.
the first one is a 6. So
Okay.
both mauled and eviscerated, which means I can't gain plus dice.
At all.
But what
Cannot
I'm
use
going to
plus
do is I'm going to use my cowboy hat, which I marked to ignore injury or being down, but the hat is destroyed.
Okay.
Wow.
So
No.
I'm just
Oh, take the injury.
Honestly, just die. Like, death
Yeah,
before the hat,
what the
dude.
fuck,
What the
dude?
fuck?
What the
Before
fuck?
Cowboy
That
hat.
is-
As the
That's
resident
fucked,
Texan
dude.
here, I say you cannot leave your hat behind.
Yeah.
It's
You
not-
cannot
it's
leave
not
your
my
hat
choice.
behind. What the fuck?
Mhm.
What the fuck, dude?
and
All right, so you ignore that one injury and you're going to have to roll another.
yeah, the next one is a 4. So 3 and 4 limping has already been marked off. So I just -1 to all stats.
Yes, you are crawling now as Chuck is barely able to manage on as you have your guns drawn, but you are now crawling towards the werehund.
Towards
Is he just
So
bottom?
the werehund is dead.
And yes,
Is
it
just
is,
the
and-
bottom half of his body just gone? Just like
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is there a hole in the side of the Zeppelin yet, or what? After all of that,
I mean, there's a fire pit in the middle of this, so they've had some there is some safety precautions. Like they're like they're not going to put bullet holes through the cloth
okay,
of
that's
the
no problem.
Zeppelin.
I'll make my own.
So you've got an infantry squad left,
I am going after them.
Incredible, go for it.
I am going to use the improvised projectile. I'm going to grab that lectern,
Yes.
and I'm going to pull out the grappling hook that I have and wrap it around. And then I'm going to throw the grappling hook around as many of the soldiers as I can, and then throw the lectern out the Zeppelin to pull them all out.
Incredible. You want to put a hole in the side of the Zeppelin to start this descent.
Yeah.
Okay.
we have Featherfall,
So,
I think.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to roll the 3 attack against you from this infantry squad. All right. That is 3 successes for me, my friend.
All right, so I got the improvised projectile. Is it aerodynamic? They like pointy shapes.
The
right?
lectern. I'm gonna say a no to that
That's
one.
fine. That's fine.
I feel like it's a rectangle kind of shape.
It's a square.
I feel like
block
it's
shape,
as not aerodynamic as you can get.
I
Really.
think they like their pointy things, but that's fine. And this is brawl, correct?
It would be brawl.
All
Yeah.
right.
No, the Nazis like it pointy.
Everyone knows Nazi lecterns were very aeroplane shaped.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now,
Come on now.
I get a +2 for 3 or more stories. Now, since
This is yes.
it's going to be dropping,
Yes.
surely more than
So what?
3
Tell
stories.
me the first story.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Alright,
you
so
just-
okay. So I've got 8, I think.
You'll knock 3 off
You know
there.
what? Fuck it. I'm going to use the Nun's Blessing and add +2.
Hell yeah!
Dude,
and
burn
you
it
feel
all.
just like
Now's the
this
time.
little warmth on your collar as you know have Marie Jose's token there.
Oh boy. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 6 is another 4
Okay, that is. You take off the 3. That is enough. You loop all of them. You get them around. The grappling hook impales one of them, and they just all completely like into each other. And then you see the lectern just tumble, and it goes straight through the protective barrier and out the other side. And the Nazis just kind of like, there's a moment as the chain starts to sail, and it's just like, and then it just, all of them are yanked all at once, completely out. And there's now a giant hole.
They get yanked out, and some of them just fully get bisected.
Yes, absolutely.
In fairness, a hole in the body of the Zeppelin wouldn't be too bad. It's a hole in the envelope that would be the issue. So,
yeah, you're up higher, so you're in the envelope-y area.
Oh, we're
shit, we're
inside the fucking
envelopes?
Zeppelin part, like
Yeah.
where all the hydrogen lives.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
you.
not good.
And
No.
I would try to put the legs from the bisected one next to Chuck.
No.
That's so
Yes, no.
sweet.
Good boy.
That's so sweet. The goodest boy in the war.
Thank you so much.
So, so the infantry squad is completely sent out, and you feel this. You just start hearing this hissing sound. As there is now a hole in the pocket of the Zeppelin. It is going to go down. It will take a little bit, as there's probably some fail safes in place. Hitler would have thought of that, or he wouldn't have thought of that because
He was on meth.
He was on meth,
Yeah.
so his scientists would have thought of that. And as the lifeless body of the werehund slumps to the ground, would anyone like to feed on the werehund? There is plenty of blood here for all.
Give me that werewolf.
I'll have a little drink of the werewolf.
Right. You gotta collect them all, right? You gotta get all the Ubermen.
I think only Cosgrave got them all. Because I think only
yeah.
Cosgrave drank Robot Man.
First one, yeah.
Yes, that is correct. So
Cosgrave
you,
caught them all. Ash Ketchum did.
you can almost smell the taste of the
hero.
blood before you actually sink your teeth into it, and werehund tastes of sweat, meat, and cheap leather.
Oh, yuck.
Oh,
Oh,
just
yum.
as
I
good as
actually
the
like
chicken
that
fat
one.
and cigars. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yes.
That's another one I can get behind.
All right, so as the Zeppelin starts to go down, you walk. Hitler has escaped down the hallway, and you follow the trail. You can see that he's likely been hit with an errant bullet and is bleeding. You can smell the trail that way. And you see a small locked closet. It looks to be reinforced with steel, obvious Nazi occult words on the outside. There's a panel big enough to write something on, and you see a pen next to it in a place where you assume that you're supposed to write this password in.
Oh, shit, who knows the password?
There have been tons of clues throughout.
I know.
The
I
last
wrote it
couple
down,
episodes.
but my last character sheet got deleted for some reason. I wrote down the thing that we were told by the dude's body. What was it? Do you guys remember?
Oh.
Yeah, he said one thing before he died. Before we
Oh, fuck.
just ganked him.
Yeah.
What did he say?
I huff my last thing of ghosts and go through the door, unlocking it from the other side.
Fuck it.
Oh.
Okay.
That works, I guess.
This door is warded.
Oh shit!
Oh.
So I'm gonna need you. I am gonna roll Am I gonna roll a terrify here?
Yeah, go for it.
Warded, yeah. I'm gonna
You also
roll-
have one of those Babylon candles if you want to try and.
I do have a Babylon
You can be a
candle.
ghost
Get
and
bounced
Babylon
back.
style.
So I'm gonna roll a 4. Oh shit! I'm gonna roll a terrify 4. And I think you're gonna have to roll me an opposed. You can roll me an opposed sneak. I
Okay.
think.
All right.
How's Cosgrave at sneaking?
He's fucking good at sneaking,
Oh, he's a
dude.
sneaky
It's what he
boy?
lives for.
Sneaky guy.
And he's going through walls, so he gets a bonus to that.
Yep.
And it's his last use of the ghost, so we're rolling 8 die, team.
Holy shit, dude.
3
I
for
have
sneak.
4 successes with a 5, a 4, and a 6.
Sorry, 7 die. I did math wrong.
you're
And that's a
gonna have
1. Oh! 6, 6, 5. Get me through that door.
Incredible.
Fuck yeah,
Cosgrave,
dude.
you know what wards look like.
Yes, I
and these
do.
are fucking cheap ass wards.
Fucking cheap Nazi wards.
Cheap Nazi wards. These look dollar store wards. You could have done these in your sleep on a bad day with a really big hangover.
Ugh.
You drift through the door and you see in the corner. You are the only one who sees this right now.
Uh-huh.
Adolf Hitler, balled up in the corner of his panic room. He looks at you. He looks absolutely scared out of his goddamn mind.
Deep in the
There
meth
is
sweats.
nowhere he can go. There is nothing he can do other than piss himself and start to cry.
No, there's something he can do. Because if I'm not mistaken, we had a radio thing projected to the entirety of the country, correct?
Everyone outside is in the broadcast suite, yes.
Yeah, I would love to unlock the door.
Okay.
I'd love to look this man in his eyes, mark my
Okay.
last blood,
Oh,
and
God.
implant some memories. I would like
Okay.
to remove all his understanding of, like, his whole fucking deal, and I would love to implant the philosophy of democracy and, like, just everything, where everything he's against, we're into it. Democracy's the thing. Like, oh, I was wrong. Like, everyone was a scapegoat for my own fucking sense of grandeur. And I want to
Yeah.
put that into his addled fucking brain, because I
Yeah.
imagine it's all fucked up. And I would
Super
like
messed
to
up.
gently usher this man to his radio thing. Because you
Okay.
kill the man, that's just the man. Only he can kill the idea.
Okay. All right. What do
Fuck
you
yeah,
do? You
dude.
roll anything for this? Hitler has
No, I
nothing
just implant-
to oppose you. You
Yeah,
just
I
do
just
it.
implant those memories into
You
him.
just do it. Okay. I will say for this in this game, it is specifically written into the game rules itself that Hitler does not get a voice. So
Oh.
I will not be speaking for Hitler, but in the game, I will say he does do this. He stands
He
in
pathetically surrenders.
front. He pathetically surrenders and admits that he was so fucking wrong.
And I also had a little detail that I just want him to publicly announce that he likes peeing his own pants, and he believes there's nothing wrong with that.
He does. He does do that.
He does it because he likes the warm feeling.
And there are cameras. There are cameras on him while this is happening. This is a radio broadcast as well. My
Oh,
question.
he
to
also
you-
says he's personal close friends with Barker of East Hackney,
Barker Romney, the mage.
the second greatest necromancer.
That's Bishop. That's Bishop
Oh,
is the second.
Bishop, excuse me.
Barker Romney?
Barker Romney's the mage, the morally gray wizard that you met at
Oh,
Command.
we already
even
know that
better.
one's true. Yeah, you can. Let's throw both of them together.
Okay. Yeah,
Can
sure.
I eat him now?
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
was gonna
after
say-
he's done talking, Flint would just
You
like, right through
all-
his guts.
Yes, good.
Absolutely.
Iryna looks at him and goes, I do not feed on vermin. And I'm going to step out of the Zeppelin.
Incredible. You do so. The rest of you feed on Hitler, and
I
I'm
just-
going to give you.
Just
Go
start
ahead.
pulling out intestines, just like with
Amazing.
glee.
For snacks, I'm going to give you
For
one taste what
snacks.
his blood tastes like.
Meh.
I'm going to give you one guess what his blood tastes like.
Man.
He.
Shit.
He.
Oh wait, just human blood.
Amphetamines.
Oh,
meth.
Much
A lot
like
of
meth,
meth. It's all
guys.
meth.
Just like a lot of
He's a
meth.
meth guy.
Have you seen him
It's
at the
all meth.
Olympics? Have you seen that footage?
He's
No.
so
No,
messed
I
up.
wasn't
Oh,
able to make
dude,
it
he's
that
tweaking
day.
out so hard.
It's
He like
bad.
sits in the stands, and you're like, oh, he's fucked up. He's
So-
he was
Fucking
on meth.
gurning.
How did
Yeah,
the rest of
big
you
time.
get out of this? So you fed on Hitler, you fed on the werehund. Cosgrave has truly caught them all. How do you? Iryna has just walked out of the Zeppelin. How do the
I
rest
mean,
of you?
we can just safely glide down. So I'm
You
just gonna
absolutely can.
roll my legless body out of the Zeppelin.
So as you all float down to the ground, the Zeppelin starts to begin to its descent. It is still
Oh, yeah.
tethered to
As-
the Eiffel
as we-
Tower.
As we
At
go
this
out,
point-
as I
Mhm.
fall out, I'll just mark one blood and use my acid to burn the tether.
Incredible. That's a
Cool.
very good plan. So you don't
Untether
knock
it.
the Eiffel Tower down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to knock over the Eiffel Tower? Pretty lame,
Mm.
if you ask me.
So the Zeppelin begins its slow descent down as the six of you also, much more gracefully, descend down towards the ground. You touch down and you have completed your mission. And we're gonna leave that scene there. And we
Chuck definitely lands on his face.
absolutely he does. We fast forward 3 months. You can put on potentially the sneaky music or some fun ending music, Tim. The war is now over. The Nazis have almost been entirely removed from Europe, with the last retreating back into Germany. Treaties are being written, accords are being struck, victories celebrated, and many, many losses grieved. We find ourselves now at Fang Command. It took a while to extract you all from France. The being hopped up on all of those amphetamines did send you into a little bit of a blood frenzy, and it did take a while to convince all of you to leave France as you were going around searching for more meth, but you got through it. It's
Iryna was
fine.
just having a party.
You were having a great
Yeah.
time.
You're a
Naked.
babysitter.
And you also stayed behind to help quicken the Nazi removal from the city and the rest of the country. We now see the 6 of you as Commander Slate, your original commanding officer, pins the last medals of honor on you. A bright red star that looks suspiciously like it's filled with, in a hollow inside it, with a familiar red fluid gently sloshing around inside. My dear voracious vampires, I want to give each of you a moment here so that you may end your story at this point in history. Because we know there will likely be many more opportunities for you to be sent out into whatever war comes next, because humans just can't seem to get their shit together. What would each of you like to do?
After the ceremony, immediately after, Nicole walks into the crowd and finds Siobhan, and they clasp hands and they walk off together, no doubt going back to Iran and the islands of Iran, and hope to live a mundane, simple life until the next conflict requires them both to show up again.
Incredible. I think that you and Siobhan get positions as like the night bartender at a tavern, and you just kind of alternate, or sometimes you both work, and you just end up kind of slinging beer and hanging out with the wonderful, simple townsfolk on your island, living a beautiful, quiet life with an absolute arsenal of firearms.
Oh yeah, that's ready to go in the
in a
house.
shed
That's
near your
never,
house.
it's quiet, but we're ready.
You're so ready. Incredible. And if there's any scenes that anyone wants to play out, we can do that too. Anyone, what else do the rest of you do?
Fly back.
Yeah, you go.
Flint would fly back to his cave. The nuns.
So do you say goodbye to anybody? Oh, sorry, our cat is also yowling in the background. She's
Yeah,
going
like
crazy.
Hates that this is ending.
She hates that this is ending.
Yeah, I would say a quick goodbye, sort of in his own way. He would sort of like kind of sniff each one of them, give Iryna a lick on the hand,
Good.
and then fly off into the night.
You see, as you're just about to leave, you see Sister Marie-José standing at the door of Fang Command. Had you given her back her scarf?
Right. Yep.
She holds it and kind of flays it towards you. A simple sign of the tokens that were often given to loved ones in the war. And Rogue, the show is going to end soon. You need to deal with it. You fly off and you're in London. It takes you maybe a couple weeks of flight as you make your way back to the Polish countryside. And you find it primarily by smell. It has been many, many years since you've been here to the cave where you were ousted from when you were just essentially a teenaged ManBat. I was a teenage ManBat. And you see that I got to keep with a little bit of history here. You see that the chapel now stands empty. There are no nuns inside the blessed martyrs and the sisters of Nagrajnik. There are no nuns here anymore. And you see your cave in the distance, about 300 to 500 feet beyond the chapel. What would you like to do?
I would spend however long repairing the chapel and living out my days in the cave.
Hmm.
And it's a lovely existence. It's exactly how you remembered it.
It's a little lonelier.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Who's next?
I mean, all Cosgrave really wants to do is go back to Hackney and watch Bishop get arrested as a known and public Nazi sympathizer
Yeah, it's
and third-rate
vicious.
necromancer, if we're completely honest.
And with Bishop being gone, you then become London's second best necromancer.
Well, I think Cosgrave's arc is he's learned that it really grinds his gears to be second or, God forbid, third fiddle. So after absolutely ransacking Bishop's establishment
Yes.
and taking all his crystal balls,
Absolutely.
he is going to move on to find a smaller pond where he can be a bigger fish.
Where do you end up, you think? Do you stay in the UK or do you go somewhere else?
I think
Glasgow.
he ends up in Moldova.
In
I think
Moldova.
Moldova has some pretty third-rate necromancers, and he can be king among the amateurs.
Okay. So you set up in Moldova.
Thank you.
And you have a small little occultist shop there, and you were starting to gain like local popularity, infamy. You're doing lots of readings, doing lots of appraisals on items, generally the work that you like to do. And one day, you are in your shop, and you hear a small knock on the door.
Yes.
Do you go outside? There is no verbal response.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, he grabs his shotgun and puts it just on like the other side of the door and cracks it open to look.
You see
Appointment only.
You see just a hand, like a shriveled kind of dead hand with a small like part of the radius and ulna sticking out of it that has kind of knocked at the door and then fallen down.
I pick it up and examine it for goodies.
You open it and you see a pentagram carved on the inside of the hand. And the hand turns into a point, and it points straight ahead.
I follow the hand.
You don't even need to go that far. You look up, and you see the familiar face of Silent Gaskell. And you see that she is holding a very, very large book. Special delivery. Thought you'd want to read it.
Well, actually, you're exactly the person I wanted to see. See, I was hoping to send you a message, but I couldn't trust the post, you know. So
Who does?
I would like to bring her in and show her what I've been working on, which is a reanimated lower half of a body with a fanny pack attached to it that will jog all the way to England.
Incredible.
The problem is I can't find the range.
Yes.
I
And
can
so-
make it to Italy just fine, but all the way...
and the two
and then
of you get to
Yeah.
work, I think, and you study through Professor Mabel's texts and maybe the position of first best necromancer becomes irrelevant to the both of you.
Never. He
So
will
you're-
always be intimidated and impressed by oh gosh, how do I pronounce it? Silene?
Silan.
Salan.
Amazing. Who else?
I think Astrid would actually go to what's our first checkpoint? Was checkpoint Bravo?
It was Charlie was the first one.
Charlie, checkpoint Charlie, where she met a wonderful lavender-haired person.
Oh, you sure did. You met projectionist Artemisia Dorian.
Artemisia Dorian. Yeah, I think Astrid would
Try and find Artemisia?
yeah, we'll go try and find Artemisia.
Okay. So you kind of work your way through talking to folks at Fang Command, and now that the war is over, Britain's more overt occult efforts go silently back underground, but the secret and covert ops remain. You head on over to a very not much talked about sector of the British Intelligence Service, their occult division, and you find projectionist Artemisia Dorian kind of on a regular work day, perfecting her craft, and she sees you as you walk in the door. Oh, Astrid.
Artemisia, hello.
Hi.
This may be weird. Do you like flying?
No. I do it a lot, but without a plane. So perhaps I haven't done much flying otherwise.
That's fair. I was really enamored with you. You showed me a little bit of your world last time I was here, and I wanted to show you a little bit of mine. I have a private plane and wanted to offer you a ride, if you wanted. If not, also fine.
I would love that. And I can think of nobody else that I would rather learn how to do this kind of flying with.
Yes, this one's arguably a little bit more scary, but if you know what you're doing, it's fine.
Ah, well then you haven't gone on long distance astral projection. We will have to fix that.
I would
And
absolutely love to.
the two of you head on over towards the Duchess 2, and you take off on probably the first of many wonderful plane rides together.
Yes.
Cool. Sweet. Chuck or Iryna, what do you do?
I'll cede the floor to Giannis.
I think you'd find Chuck back stateside. You'd see he'd probably start a ranch of his own. I'm sure there was probably a pretty handsome payout from the government for everything for services rendered.
And all those pensions. You're collecting both British and American pensions.
I know.
You're doing great.
Doing great. Yeah, he'd have a ranch, but it would be specifically for finding young, newly turned vampires and giving them a place to figure out how to be vampires and not menaces to society. So sort of like a rehabilitation through like farm work.
Yes.
But then I think there's also like a sort of an underlying certain amount of like military training that's going on, so that when they call, they're not just calling on him, but they're calling on a group.
Amazing.
So I'm sure it's connected somehow to Fang.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he would spend a lot of his time like going around finding other vampires, giving them a place to go, that kind of thing.
Amazing. And I would say that Lieutenant Broadman probably comes and helps you get set up. And you are, you never really, military ranking never meant anything to you. But for your service, you are granted the title of lieutenant as well. Fantastic. Iryna, the floor is yours. What do you do?
After some time, everyone would receive a visitor, a very large black raven ridden by a tuxedo-clad bat, holding a note that would read, "My dearest friends, I humbly invite you to my yearly soiree and orgy. Please attend. Bring as many people as you want. It will be a very sexy time. Also, BYOT, you know how it is. P.S. I found this amazing thing called lysergic acid. It's very good. You should come try. Please come try." And you would all know BYOT is bring your own tribute, because he expects tribute from his friends.
Presents.
Bring me presents. Come to my orgy and give me stuff.
Yes.
And I would host an absolute debauched bacchanal at my castle.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So we let our wonderful group of voracious vampires enjoy their post-war bliss, however they find it. And that is where we end our series. Yay, we did it! You guys killed Hitler!
We did it.
We did it. We killed Hitler.
We had an orgy. Woo. Is that
wanna-
not the focus?
This game has been so fun to play, so fun to write, and also be Fang commander for. I want to say a huge thank you to my first and foremost, my wonderfully talented cast of vampires. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing these characters to life. These characters are stock characters. They come with very, very basic depictions of how they exist. Just the
Oh my god, the bat!
The beast is back.
My
And
mind.
so the depictions that you've seen here of these characters are entirely these wonderful cast members' own. So you can turn your vampires however you want to. So please go find this game when it comes out. If you've backed the Kickstarter already, this is what you can do with your wonderful friends and people that you play with. And if you're like, okay, well, we kill Hitler once, what's gonna happen next? There are many inspirations for further adventures that you could go on. A personal favorite of mine is called "You Winston, You Lose Some," and it's Churchill was a real piece of shit, a racist by even 1940 standards, and he pulled some truly wretched crap in India before he got into the whole leading Britain to victory thing. Grubs up, he's at a grand victory celebration at Buckingham Palace. Drain him is what it is. So there's a bunch of others.
Drain him.
There's another one called "A Feast Fit for a King to be Eaten At," which is about the king. Another one is called "Franco, My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn." Another one is "Franklin, My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn." And the final is "A Ferdinand in the Hand is Worth Two in the Bush," where you Flint
that's
gets
good.
Oh, what the fuck?
Flint gets real fucky with time travel, and you all end up back in June of 1914 attempting to prevent the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand and the kickoff of World
There's
War
also
I.
that secret Nazi base on the moon that we never dealt with. So
Absolutely,
so vampires in
absolutely.
space. And that's where the werewolves are most powerful.
Because they're always wolves.
They're always
always
wolves.
wolves. Yeah.
It's always a full moon on the moon.
Werewolves on the moon.
It has been such a privilege to tell this story. I want to send a huge shout out to everyone at Rowan and Rook and Decard. Thank you so much for sponsoring and partnering with us for this series. Game designer Grant Howitt, artist Will Kirkby, proofing and production by Maz Hamilton, sensitivity reading by James Mendes Hodds and Rue Dickey. Thank you to Rue for being our sensitivity consultant for this series. Please stick around. We are going to go raid someone awesome. June, thank you so much for guesting with us. And we cannot wait to have you back at the table, whether that is virtually or in person. And if you are new at the channel and you're like, holy heck, I want to see more of these incredible storytellers, please come hang out with us Monday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our main campaign.
Also, big thank you to
go
Dead Aussie Gamer. Unfortunately, couldn't make it tonight.
Dag,
Big
Dag,
thanks.
if you're
The
out
goodest
there,
boy.
for the
goodest-
first two episodes.
the goodest boy in the war. Thank you very, very much. So stick around. Keep your fangs out, because you never know when you're going to need to get a little bit bloodthirsty. So be safe, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Okay, good night. Bye.
Bye.